Black holes could never suck us down. Black holes could never suck us down. Black holes could never suck us down.
Remember when we made love beneath the Milky Way? We got drunk off of moonbeams and spent the night defying the day. Together we climaxed so hard that 100 stars lost their lives, exploding into nebulas that reflected rainbows in your eyes.
Black holes could never suck us down. The light of our love cannot be bent by the darkness all around. Black holes could never suck us down. The light of our love cannot be bent by the darkness all around.
Remember when we discovered a new galaxy? We got high off of stardust and laughed as we defied gravity. Together we transcended the world that had tried to hold us down, creating a new universe that reflected the love we had found.
Black holes could never suck us down. The light of our love cannot be bent by the darkness all around. Black holes could never suck us down. The light of our love cannot be bent by the
For us, black holes do not exist. As long as our love continues to persist while we're mating souls, black holes will never suck us down. They shrink away from our love and disappear without a sound.
Black holes could never suck us down. The light of our love cannot be bent by the darkness all around. Black holes could never suck us down. The light of our love cannot be bent by the darkness all around.
Working now? There we go. Okay, that's working, and now here, make it so they can hear you. My defaults changed. There we go. Now we're good. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the coffee stream. I am joined by Sacrow
Hello.
and Serafin.
coffee.
And he wants to
All the memories I have are beautiful in my mind, but they don't feed the hunger deep inside my soul.
That was what the sweet potato is for.
Yeah. Sweet potato
feed the soul?
to feed the hunger.
Good morning, Maximum. Maximum, yep. Yeah. English.
Maximum 4,000. That sounds like a robot name. Like a really cool robot.
Probably.
Like an Autobot.
Yeah. Speaking of Autobots, I met Optimus Prime recently.
You made him?
Now, I met him, like the
Oh,
voice
you-
actor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Who's the voice actor of Optimus Prime?
Neil Kaplan.
Sounds familiar, correct, yes.
hmm
I'm gonna pretend like I know who that is.
Hello, Silver Underpants. I mean, Silver Underworld. Welcome. He knows it.
Yeah, Silver Underworld.
Apparently, he's driving and listening. That's always a good idea. Nothing's bad ever happened when that happens.
Yeah, don't drive and eat a sweet potato. That's harder than you think.
Have you tried?
Yes.
Doesn't sound like a good time.
It's this. If the sweet potato's hot enough, it's just like a nightmare all around.
Fair. I can see that.
Yeah. I can't really drive and do literally anything else. Like, I'm the kind of person who turns down their music so they can, see better.
Actually,
Yep.
I figured out what it is. It's not to see better. It's so you can hear everything outside.
I just thought it was to focus.
Yeah, I do it when I go into my when I go into my back alley, turn my music down, and I was like, why do I keep doing this? I'm like, that's so you actually can hear if a car's coming. That makes sense.
Oh,
I just
shoot.
followed the meme.
I just realized that we're under a freeze warning. We're gonna
Oh.
drop to 3 degrees Celsius? Holy cow.
That's nothing. That's warm.
Yeah, thank you, Miss Canada. You talking about -40 a second ago? Yeah, I understand it's cold up there. But 3 degrees Celsius is a big deal for me.
That's still not freezing. Zero
Well, yeah,
in Celsius
zero.
is freezing.
You're 3 degrees off.
You'd be surprised how much that 3 degrees helps. Look, I lived in Canada my whole life.
Yeah. Don't sleep while driving. Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah, I've tried that once. It didn't work out for me.
Yeah. When I had my stressful job going home, I would fall asleep at the wheel like almost daily. That was horrible. Luckily, nothing ever like happened because I would always wake up just in the nick of time. But oh my god, I had too many near misses for comfort.
We still have Serafin to this day, which is a good sign. Good morning, September Dragon Audio. I mean, November Dragon Audio. So,
It's November. Wow.
Yep, it is November. My brain keeps going, no, it's like September, and I'm like, or October, and I'm like, nope.
Yeah, mine's just wandering all. Well, right now it's wandering because I'm just tired. I really need some coffee. I'm gonna order some coffee.
Could you order me some too?
Yeah, what do you guys want?
Where are you ordering from?
I mean, I guess Starbucks is probably the only place that's, worldwide.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
'Cause, I mean, I had Starbucks literally in every country I've been to. So.
White chocolate mocha.
Oh, bro. Have you tried the toasted white chocolate mocha that came out?
Yes, it is
That crap's
beautiful.
delicious.
Mm.
I added a shot of pumpkin sauce into that, and it is, yeah.
Yeah, like I don't even like put any sugar or anything in it. It's good to go right, just like that.
Yeah. I just like pumpkin flavoring.
Mm-hmm.
It's too early to order coffee. I'm fine.
I've come to find out that I'm kind of like super basic when it comes to foods because I'll eat a lot of stuff without seasoning, and everybody just like, well, wow, like you don't like salt or anything, and I was like, well, I like it, but like food is food, and it tastes good with or without it.
I'm definitely the complete opposite.
Are you sure that's a good idea? You should be salty your food all the time.
I assault a lot of things, but food is not one of them.
Salt, garlic, pepper, paprika, literally everything else in my cabinet. Just always onto everything I make. Chicken, beef, pork, does not matter.
It's a what's it called? Like you guys asked a second ago, whenever I was saying that I had a boiled sweet potato, and you were like, "Oh yeah, with butter and stuff." I'm like, "Nah, it's plain." Like I'm literally just like holding the potato, like like you would, like I don't know, like a softball, and just like eating it. I do the same thing with rotisserie chickens. No utensils, just like palm it and then just like bite into it like a caveman.
How small is your rotisserie chicken?
It's, it's on the smaller side. I mean, it's like you could hold it like, I'm using a lot of like, sports paraphernalia for size references, but like about the size of a football.
Okay. So you're just like holding the rotisserie chicken in one palm and you're just like biting into it like it's a taco?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Do that at Thanksgiving dinner once and they stop inviting you.
That's the trick. Let me try that this year. I keep getting invited by all sorts of fan members, and I just don't know yet.
Apparently, September asks how everyone's doing, and also he loves plain boiled sweet potato. And hello, hair raising narratives.
Doing well.
Hello, HR.
I need a new chair. This one does not do anything for my back.
That's not good.
Chair recommendations, friends. What do you guys sit in?
I don't even know the name of this one.
I have a brown chair.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
I have an average.
Average.
I think that's how you pronounce that. I don't know. It's a
Mine-
gaming gaming chair, but it's a lower end one. It's comfortable.
Yeah, mine's a lower end gaming chair too, but it's like partially back at the top, so you can't sit in it comfortably ever.
No,
Yeah.
mine's all the way to my head. So
Yeah, I have one of those X racers, but like that one was terrible, man. Like that one hurt my back, so I had to steal like my wife's ergonomic office chair, and that's what I
Yeah.
sit in now.
That's exactly what I'm trying to figure out if I should buy one. I was thinking, oh, do I need one? And then I'm like, well, whenever I stream, I don't have a camera on, so like,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter what I'm sitting in as long as it's comfortable.
Right.
I went to
That's
Office
kinda-
Depot the other day to look for one. So
The Office Depot is exactly where we got this ergonomic one, and ever since, I mean, my back stopped hurting, so I mean, I would recommend it.
let me go back real quick. I
Mm.
think they open at 10.
Yeah, it was a weird thing, because like I kept thinking to myself, I'm like, well, that's just because like the lumbar support on the X Racer isn't all that good, and then I don't know. The more research I did, the more everybody was like, hey, you know what? Just stop buying gaming chairs. Just get yourself an ergonomic office chair. You'll thank yourself. And when I swapped to this one, I was like, oh wow, yeah, that is a world of difference.
Yeah, I don't know. Ergonomic chair is definitely something I need because yeah, back's hurting. I'm playing more games now because my brother and I are trying to make a League of Legends team. So I'm playing a lot more of that with them. Yeah.
Good luck to you. League of Legends is one of those games that keeps turning me off because of how hard it is.
Yeah, I mean, I've been playing it off and on for 10 years.
Yeah. I mean, and I guess that has a lot to do with it, is like the amount of time that you've put into it,
Yeah.
Because I only ever maybe like put in like a month's worth of effort at a time, and then I'm like, nah, man, this is too much, and I just stop.
I
hey,
definitely
hey,
put in
Furberries.
too many times. Or too much time.
Mm.
So we're playing it again. And I'm actually getting good at the game, and I hate it. But it's hurting my back because I have to sit in my chair in a specific way to play the game, and there's no support from the chair.
Yeah, just like my dad, no support at all.
Shots fired.
I make that joke all the time, and it always catches people off guard.
I even kind of knew it was coming too because we talk too much.
My dad is a nice man. I just make fun of him.
My dad's great.
Well, actually, he's not that nice, but he is.
Your dad.
Okay, he's not nice, but he's good. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to be a nice person to be a good person. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm lucky my dad's both, I guess.
Yeah.
He likes to build things for me, even though I'm like 20 plus years old.
My dad's one of those guys where he's like, from time to time he'll ask me like, how old are you? And I was like, I'm 17. And he's like, at your age, I was 22.
Oh my god.
Understandable. Thanks.
I'm like,
Hereditary
okay.
narrative. Should I hate your dad or not, Bar? Which one is it?
Well, yeah, hair raising narratives is usually in our Nevermore Nerds stream, and I make jokes about my dad there all the time. And I realize that, sometimes I paint him in a really bad light. I was like, no, he's not bad, but like the things I say, I was like, okay, is he not? Do I have Stockholm syndrome? What's happening?
Well, I mean, to be fair, it'd be very easy. He had access to you for years.
Yeah, I guess so.
Hold on. You have a stream called Nevermore Nerds?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's on the Nevermore
I've never
Collective.
heard of this.
It's on the Nevermore Collective. We talk about and celebrate all aspects of nerd culture.
Ah, I'm interested.
The link's actually down in the description. It's under Bard's live streams.
I highly recommend our latest one if you're gonna check us out, because Derringer had this brilliant idea, and I was like, oh, this was fun. It's like the one where he makes us guess video game noises from like over 30 years of gaming. He just played like a small 2-second clip, and we had to guess what game it's from.
Yeah.
Me and Raven. It was fun.
I got
That
a
sounds
couple
awesome.
of those. I was quite surprised.
Yeah.
I've been looking for new podcasts to listen to and stuff. I've been sitting here working on things without background noise for a while. So
Isn't that the worst?
yeah, I have like music I listen to occasionally, but like music, it's too little or too distracting.
I had like a whole day where I was like, I'm trying to get through some editing, and man, like I was so bored that I'm trying to like swipe through TikTok at the same time. But what was it like? At one point, I got like really involved in like this one particular edit, and then I thought to myself, and I didn't stop to realize, but you know, like for a while, I just left it on the same TikTok video, just like playing on my phone, and it's that gospel singer lady who says, "We got greens, beans, potatoes, tomatoes, lamb," and you know, like, and people just kind of like loop it so that it makes like a hip hop beat. So I was like sitting there just listening to that lady listing her grocery list for like for like 20 minutes. And you know, like after a while you gotta get into it, you know, like she's like beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, lamb, and you're just like, hell yeah, come on, you say it, you sing it, lady.
Man, that's funny.
I can just see your wife walking in. What are you listening to? What? I'm listening to something?
Grocery list.
It's time. Do you guys ever get like comments saying you sound like somebody else? Like you have like a sound-alike?
I
YouTube?
haven't yet.
Only once, and it wasn't even on YouTube, it was on Twitter.
I have 0 following on Twitter. And I don't
What?
know how to break into Twitter. But at this point, it doesn't really matter, you know?
Yeah, this is fair.
Yeah.
I'm moving to Tumblr. Moving back to Tumblr, I should
Moving
say.
back
That's where I
to-
started.
I like Twitter, you know, like the drama just keeps you entertained.
Yeah, well, I mean, but it might go bankrupt or whatever.
Yeah, well, I mean, I lose absolutely nothing if they go bankrupt. I mean, like,
Same.
Yeah, my 100 followers on there. Oh no, goodbye, friends.
eh.
I have over
I'm in
1,000.
Discords with everybody I want to talk to, anyways.
Yeah, same.
I cannot grow my. I swear I cannot grow my Twitter.
I don't know how I did it. I really don't know how I did it.
I got 500 just by saying, you know, dumb jokes on there.
No one on there cares about creepypastas or anything because every time I talk about it, nothing.
Hmm.
I get a few likes from like the horror community. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I accept that.
Another good place is Instagram with pictures and stuff.
Oh yeah, I just don't have enough photos of anything except my cats.
Yeah.
Yeah, I post videos there every single day. I don't have a
Yeah,
life.
I've seen your videos.
Yeah, I don't have a life.
The
Not-
other ones, I always click on them. I always make sure to watch.
Thank
Watch
you.
time's important.
Yes. Yeah, I watch. I make. Yeah, actually, today's when I make them. So 7 videos a day, a week, and then another one.
Yay.
I have no
Nice.
idea how many people follow me on Twitter. Okay, well, let's go find out, Mr. September Dragon Audio. I can find that out for you, because anyone can figure that out.
Your favorite bard has 534 followers.
Wow. Let me open my Twitter. I actually don't know if I have like exactly 100.
Uh,
It's somewhere around there.
September Dragon Audio has 482 followers, and he's following 315.
I have 209. Wow.
Ooh, you had more than you thought.
I have 100 more. That is funny. It's fun. I use Twitter a lot, but I don't actually like. No one really ever responds to my stuff and stuff, so I barely post. I'm more like comment on people's things. But I'm always like a day late, so you know that doesn't help in any way.
You're
Twitter's
responding
wild,
to them.
man.
Yeah, I'm
And-
responding to what's it called? Somebody sent me lines for a project I'm working on that I'm excited about.
I speak how much I need to finish a project. I got lines for.
Yeah. I think ultimately what I'm going to need is I'm going to need a video editor because I write scripts and they always end up being like super huge, like 20-page scripts. And then I'm like, I can record that, but then putting the video together is going to be a pain.
Yeah, I know what you mean. A lot of my videos are longer. Like my videos are always at least 22, like 40 minutes.
Mm.
So I'm used to sitting in front of this editing software for 3 to 4 days,
Yeah, same.
and then I get really tired of rewatching my own content and hearing my own voice.
No, yeah, I know how that feels.
I do not. I love the way I sound.
He's not into himself at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah.
I hated my voice, and that was like the original reason when I first started YouTube, I would always make my voice sound different.
Mm.
And then I got lazy one day, and I just started using my regular voice with just like a slightly better reading tone from all the reading I'm constantly doing.
Mm.
And somebody was like, "Hey, I like your voice," and I'm like, "I hate my voice, but I'll stick with that. That's fine." And now everyone says I sound like Blame It on Jorge, which I'm sure you guys have seen his YouTube channel.
I have not.
You've never
Oh, wait,
seen Blame It on
actually,
Jorge?
yes, I have.
He does
Come to
Lost
think of-
Media, creepypastas, all sorts of horror stuff.
Yeah. I think I seen him do like a collab with Mr. GG.
Really, is a collab. Let me check.
I think.
I mean,
I
he's
might
done a
be-
lot of collabs. He was on Nextpo's video thing. He did one with what's his name? He was him and Mr. Creepypasta were on somebody's top 10 list or top 20 list a long time ago, or maybe they were on his top 20 list.
Right.
What's his name? Nick Crowley made a video for Halloween that had all of them on it, and it also had Wendigoon.
Nick Crowley has a fun voice.
I like Nick Crowley.
Hmm.
I didn't like when he would like purposely make his voice a little lower. I liked it better when he just talks with his normal voice.
Yeah.
But
Like he
for a
do- like
while
he does
there,
now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For a while though, he's using that like slightly darker voice. Like, dude, you're fine. Like you already blew up. Everyone likes your voice clearly. You don't need to lower it.
Hey, you know what? Maybe that's a lesson that we can all learn. Like you mentioned that you don't like hearing yourself, but probably your listeners are sitting there going like, dude, you're fine.
Yeah, it's essentially that. Yeah, I've learned his lesson.
Mm.
But he's much bigger. So you know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like everybody always says that's a lot of hard work, but it's also a lot of luck.
Yeah.
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 Well, I followed him back when he had like 200 something subscribers, and I'm like, oh, this guy's interesting though. Like, why is he not bigger? And then literally one day, just 500,000 subscribers. I looked back,
Wow.
like that's insane. And I was like watching his old videos, and I'm like, there's like no comments here. And then all of a sudden, there were tons of comments. Like he's one of those guys who was doing YouTube to nobody for so long. He was making content that was like top tier, but nobody was watching it. And then it just one video clicked, and next thing you know, they're recommending every single video, which was also already good. And yeah, he just blew up. And that's a story we can all look to, I guess.
Yeah.
Welcome, King of the Canadian Hill. Sorry, I just have to make sure I say hi to everyone. It's the rules. It's somewhere in the rule book. I haven't posted it yet. Y'all don't know about the rule book.
Is it in the comment section?
Yeah, it's hidden in one of the comment sections.
I'll have to go through every video again. Let's see.
I have over like 700 videos, so good luck figuring
I
out
know.
where it is.
I know.
I'm almost at like 800 at this point. I have a problem. It's not enough videos.
I've stopped listening to so many people simply because I stopped driving all the time, and I
That's
hate
fair.
that. So I need to start building another playlist. Remember when I moved from Oklahoma, I asked the horror community group on Twitter, like, hey, everyone send me all your videos and I will make a massive playlist. And that's all we did was listen to Readers on our way from Oklahoma to California.
Damn.
That's a
28
long
hours.
drive.
Yeah. It's 28 hours because it's like Northern California. Well, central north. And I listened to like so many people, and then I haven't touched that playlist since, sadly. What do you guys think are some of like the quintessential creepypastas if you were to come into community? Like, say you're trying to get your friends to come into the community. Like, what creepypasta would you point them to as the first internet horror medium to be like, yeah, this is what creepypastas are kind of all about?
No.
The one that I really liked when I didn't know what creepypastas were was the No End House.
No End House is so good. Yeah.
I actually read one. What was it called? I actually just read one recently for my Halloween time. I gotta remember the name of the story though. Hold on. I read a lot of stories.
For a Halloween one.
Yeah, there was a Halloween one that I read that was really good. I was quite impressed.
Actually,
by
didn't
it.
do a Halloween video this year.
Russian sleep experiment.
Oh, that one was good too.
I really like the sleep experiment.
He Who Sits Beyond is actually really good. It's brand spanking new. I really enjoyed it.
Summarize it?
Basically, it's about a godlike figure talking about how gods cease to exist and how he wishes he could cease to exist, but he can't because he's not allowed to. And then mortals have it the easiest because they don't even know about everything. It's just really meta and like really well done.
That's cool. I read this one called The Sixth Street Ritual, which is essentially, it's like an old, it was on Reddit, it was on No Sleep. And then it got removed from No Sleep, and then it was just entirely gone from the internet. So the only reason I can find it was because a channel called, what was it called? It was like something reading, I don't know, some horror thing. I gotta find it.
Yeah, September.
But
I love your random comments on my channel. I look forward to those.
Lighthouse Horror, that's what the channel's called.
I know No Sleep is really notorious for deleting stories for no good reason. Like, they try to give you a reason, and it's like, that story was good, though. Well, it didn't meet our standards. I'm like, maybe you should lower your standards a little bit, because that was actually a really good story that you just deleted.
I don't know. People tell me to lower my standards, and I always end up in relationships that don't work out, so...
Says the guy who's married.
You're right.
Well, yeah, no, I'm talking about before that. That's when I was like, okay, no more lowering standards.
Well, I mean, to a certain extent. Like, you should still have standards, but sometimes standards are a little out there, dude. I mean, you just need to take her to Spanish exorcism and you were fine.
Dude, if you can't take her to Applebee's, your standards are too high, you know?
Yeah. I don't like Applebee's because I don't like apples and I'm allergic to bees.
That's fair. That's all they have
I
there.
don't like wasps. I like bees. Wasps are awful.
Bees used to be wasps, though.
What? No way.
Mm-hmm. That's they started as wasp and then changed to bees. They're in the same family.
Wasps are massive and they're ugly and they don't serve a purpose in my household. They need to leave.
They're also aggressive as hell for no reason.
Yeah.
Just like my cat.
Furberry's asked,
killed
you
one.
have standards? What's that like? What's it like to have standards?
I mean, you kind of like just decide these are the rules that by which we're playing by, and thence, after saying that, you have established your magic circle. So anyone stepping within your magic circle has to either abide by the rules or they banish.
That sounds like you're joining a cult.
Yeah, kind of. It's actually, it's like a super interesting thing that I recently read is apparently like that's just the thing. It's a concept that doesn't get talked about, but it exists. Is the concept of the magic circle, which is something where, for the sake of enjoying something, you suspend all reason, and the examples are like so various. So, like for example, when you go to watch a play, you are entering a magic circle because within the play, you know that it's not real. You know that's a stage. But you are willing to ignore all that to engage with the story and the characters. Also, with say, for example, the game of baseball. You know that it doesn't make sense. Like if a hitter is on say second base, or I'm sorry, if a runner is on second base and he needs to go home, the easiest way to go home would be to run straight home and skipping third altogether, just like straight line right back home. But it's like, okay, but for the sake of enjoying the game, we've established these rules and we agree to these rules. We're within the magic circle known as baseball. playing video games, same thing. You know, like you're suspending disbelief. You're engaging the game on its own rules for the sake of enjoying it. And I was like, oh, that is interesting. So it's just kind of like this thing.
That's an interesting way of looking at it.
Hmm.
Like you're essentially just as soon as you're coming in to do whatever that is, you're engaging with the rules of whatever that activity happens to be.
Yeah.
Okay, I could see that as a concept someone make a 40-minute YouTube video about.
It was like, yeah, in the neighborhood of like 25 minutes, 30 minutes. It was like
Alright.
Daryl Talks Games.
Oh, hey, Daryl Talks Games. I watched that guy too. I didn't
Yeah,
see
he's
that
great.
video though.
I think it was recent. Like I saw it yesterday, so it might be a new upload. But like then again, you know, YouTube algorithm recommends things that have been like
4 years ago.
yeah.
they're,
So
they're recommending me old stuff lately because I watched one old video from some channel I used to watch for nostalgic reasons, and now that's all I get.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I've noticed. I'm like, oh, when did this video come out? 3 years ago. Why are you? I probably watched this already. Actually, now that I think about it.
I went back to watch Markiplier's old creepypasta games that he would play. I was watching Slenderman, The Rake, and some other awful games.
Baby
And-
Markiplier.
Yeah, and all I got was Markiplier. Yeah, baby Markiplier.
Baby Plier. It's Baby Plier now.
Baby Plier.
Baby Plier.
I haven't watched Markiplier in a long time. I switched to John Wolfe at some point, and he became my main horror game channel.
Jacksepticeye, actually.
I haven't watched Jacksepticeye in years. He's everywhere though still. So.
Oh yeah, he's still very popular.
I also watched PewDiePie, but I don't really watch him as much anymore. He doesn't really play horror games, so you know, kind of
I
lost interest.
never even got into him.
So John Wolfe's like my go-to now. John Wolfe and another channel called Manly Badass Hero. I don't know if you guys heard of him.
No, this is my channel.
No.
He does the same thing, but I don't know. He uploads every day, and it's like always games I've never heard of. So
So I don't.
CSU games.
So I don't watch gameplay. I watch people breaking down stories of games. That's what I like better.
I watch those too. I just haven't found any really good channels lately.
Might be able to recommend a couple.
I like it whenever like they break down like the themes and the psychology behind the game, you know?
I do remember somebody who used to do that. There was like some psychology gamer type guy.
Or
He's got a PhD.
yeah, or hear me out. Game theories.
You know, game
think-
theory used to be really good.
I'll still watch it.
I
You know,
still
like
watch it. I
Still
like
do
it.
too, yeah.
the problem that bugs me is that you know it seems to be all about Five Nights at Freddy's these days, and I was like, can we
he's really backed off from FNAF. He really has.
He just made one.
good
recently.
because I'm like, come on, man, can we talk about something different? I never even played Five Nights at Freddy's. I just want to talk about games that I recognize.
No, he
I
has.
miss the days when he would do that though.
He does do other ones now. He backed away. I know he just did one recently again, but he was trying to actually clear up the old timeline because he's pretty sure he figured out some stuff. But for the most part,
Yeah.
he does do other games now. And then he's got film theory, food theory. Food theory is really interesting.
I do like
Yeah.
food theory. It gets a little.
Theory is pretty cool.
Food theory sometimes
All
is a
over the
little out
place.
there, but
My favorite one was definitely like the how to beat the hot ones challenge. I was like, yeah, because
Yeah.
nothing makes me laugh more than you know like people like struggling to take spice that I have no problems with.
you're like, yeah, I would just eat that.
Yeah,
That would
like
just.
matter of fact, what's it called? We watched the episode and then one of my friends was like, "Oh, you know what? I have the hot ones challenge. You know, like what do you call it? Like this hot sauces." So he brought them over. And me and two other friends were like testing them, and it's funny because I'm seeing them turn red and start to sweat, and I was like, "Huh, that is that is flavor." Or this one has no flavor; it's all spice. And I was like, "Ah, you know what? This one's okay. I like this one. No, oh, this one would go great with pulled pork." You know, so it's just kind of like that.
And your friends are just eye you, tears rolling down their faces, just like, you son of a.
Yeah, it was like after a while it does get you. Like I think that the most of it is whenever you get what do you call it? Like multiple hot sauces in a row, that's when it
Yeah.
really starts to hurt. So I was like maybe 4 or 5 hot sauces deep whenever I was like, okay, now I feel it.
Yeah, it's just a time thing. As soon as it's there, you're like, oh, and everything else is spicy now. Cool,
Yeah.
thanks.
Whenever you just keep adding to it, you know, like if you had like just one, it'd be like probably no big deal. Like even though like the most spicy one though, I was like, this one has zero flavor. This is just like hot for the sake of being hot. I was like, yeah, that's not good.
Yeah, I have this strict rule of if it's going to be spicy, it better have some flavors because I don't like spicy for the sake of spicy.
I like spicy sweet. That's why Korean's my favorite flavor palette. They usually do spicy and sweet together. But then so does Thai food.
Korean spices hits different though, man. Because like that was like the one time where I was like, oh, that is hot. Like
Have you tried Thai spice? Because Thai spice is way worse. The
I
Thai chili peppers are so strong.
I guess I must not have because like you know that to me like that just that one time that I had like spicy Korean food was the one time where I was like, okay, that is a lot, but I've never had anything similar, so probably not.
Oh, you should try the Thai spice, man. It's so good. It's questionably good.
It's questionably good.
Yeah, you're like eating and you're like, you know what? Am I crying? I think I'm crying. Yeah, we go to this Thai place literally all the time. It's my wife's favorite. And she eats more spice than I do, so she will get like a hot, whatever their highest tier spice is, and I'll get like the medium because I want to actually enjoy my food a little bit.
Yeah, same.
Just a little bit, you know.
Yeah, I'm like, man, I don't want it to like hurt.
Give me the spice rack, so if it's not quite spicy enough for me yet, I'll throw some in there. But you know, just give me some room to work with.
Good morning, Duchess of Darkness. And Furberry says that he loves spicy too, but his family finds plain rice spicy.
Plain rice is so good though. I don't know why, but I love sticky rice. I can eat just plain sticky rice, nothing on it, all day. I think it's the texture.
That's very
Here's
possible.
a couple of things. Firstly, did you guys hear that after 25 years, Ash Ketchum is finally the top trainer in the world in Pokemon?
Yes, I did hear that.
Yeah.
You know what? He's got the experience every single guy trying to hire has. He's a 10-year-old with 25 years worth of experience.
He's 12 now, I think.
He's a 12-year-old with 25 years worth of experience.
Yeah.
And they aged up in Hoenn.
Yeah, I think it was around Hoenn where they aged him up a little bit.
2 years later.
Yeah. I always kind of assumed that, you know, like they live in a world where like it's just like, you know, like their definition of a year isn't the same as we're here, you know, like time runs different or something. Because I'm like, yeah, you know, of course we aged 25 years in the time between when Pokemon started and now, but in their world, time moves a lot slower, you see. So, but that's me just being weird. Other than that, we were talking about sticky rice. I heard recently that rice that we have these days isn't the same as rice that existed, you know, in generations past. Like apparently, you know, rice used to contain a lot more fiber, but now we take the fiber off of it and just keep like the basic grain, which is nothing but carbs.
Yeah, that's what white rice is. Whole grain has all
Yeah.
that stuff still on it.
So brown rice.
Yep.
Yeah, that's why I always eat brown rice whenever I go to Chipotle.
Chipotle!
I don't know if it's actually healthier. I just do it.
Chipotle! We don't have those
Chipotle
here.
is great. I
You
like
don't
Chipotle.
there? That's sad.
No, but I have
Yeah,
mucho burrito, which is way better.
Mucho.
Have you ever had Chipotle though?
Once.
Okay, so off of one experience, you're just gonna definitively say, yeah, this one's way better.
Yeah, the reason is because it's in Canada and I can have it, so it's better. Because the
you have
other
a Qdoba
option
there?
is I have to drive all the way down the States, and if I'm driving down all the way to the States, I'm going to find a real Mexican restaurant that's a hole in the wall and eat there.
Your logic's really sus.
There's a lot of Mexican restaurants where I live because, you know, Cali and all that. But
Yeah,
still like
also,
Chipotle,
yeah,
you know.
Texas.
yeah, in Texas, you guys got your Tex-Mex. You know.
Yeah. I love how that they're like Tex-Mex, but really what they mean is we're like frying everything and, you know, just adding a lot of like grease. I'm like
Yeah.
that's what Tex-Mex is. I was like, you know, I'm like, look, I'm friends with guys who moved here from Mexico, and their cooking is nothing like you find in the Tex-Mex restaurants.
No.
Nothing. It is 100% different.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm Mexican, so my dad, who's from Mexico, makes the most like basic Mexican foods, and they're amazing.
Yeah.
So I have him cook at Christmas. I have him cook at Thanksgiving. Every time I get a chance for him to cook, I make him cook. My mom can't cook. That's probably why.
My husband, where he used to live, because he lived in Florida, there was this one place where it's like, I can't name the restaurant, but it's like, look for the ugly green building. Best Mexican food I ever had. The building is ugly. It looks like a little hole in the wall, but the food is amazing.
My worst Mexican food experience was in Florida.
Oh no, this one was really
No.
good. And then we found one in Washington State that was really good too. It was a little chain, but all the restaurants were really good. I can't remember the name of it either. Plus, I'm not gonna plug.
There was this one chain I went to. I can't remember what it was called in Florida. It was like barbecue foods,
No,
barbecued meats and whatever else and whatnot. And it was the best barbecue I've had in my entire life. And I want to go back just for that.
just
So,
for the barbecue.
just for the barbecue. It was so good. Like they had a little cafe next to them, like connected to them as well. So they had like cakes and all sorts of crazy desserts. But just the barbecue itself was just phenomenal. And you can't find that in California. Like we have a few barbecue places that are okay, but that's just nothing beats that place. I can't even remember what it was called.
The little barbecue place. That's now its name.
Correct.
Little Barbecue Place, Florida.
Yep,
It was in Jacksonville, so I could probably just look up Jacksonville barbecue.
probably.
Florida.
Key of the Gate Hill. Mexican here in Ontario is awesome. Furberries, but rude by being in Ontario.
Mm.
It's called Four Rivers. Yeah. But what? Ontario. They have Mexican food in Ontario?
Yeah, oh yeah, we have Mexican food here in Alberta
Okay.
too.
I was gonna say that how would there not be Mexican food over there? I had Mexican food in Singapore. And that's pretty far from Mexico.
No, I just love having the joke of it's rude because it's Ontario, because no one in Canada likes Ontario or Quebec. It's the rules.
Is Ontario on the left side of the country?
Right side. It's on the east coast.
My friend lived in
Well, not the east
some
coast, but the east side.
place. It was on the western side of Canada, and he absolutely hated it.
Was it right next to the water?
Yeah.
That's BC.
Well, he hated it, so he came back to the States.
Yeah, it's California, but in Canada.
Oh, you guys have a California up there?
It might as well be, man. It's pretty similar in some ways.
Like land-wise, or like
Oh,
policy-wise, or
Similar kind of idea. At least where I lived in the Lower Mainland, which is the Vancouver area, and it's very it's got big film industry, more or
Okay.
more environment-friendly thoughts. But that's because they have a lot of trees there.
so does Cali. Like, okay.
Yeah, it's not perfectly, but oh god.
I mean, California isn't perfect either. I just really like it here. I want to move out though. It's too expensive.
Yeah.
I
That's
have
why
3 revenue sources, and it's still too expensive.
I moved to Alberta for a reason. It's a lot cheaper here.
I just need somewhere with fiber internet and neighbors I can't see when I open my door. So
So I've heard that all the people living in California are moving to Texas, so you might want to look there.
I hate Texas. I'm good. Sorry.
Oh, you're talking to someone from Texas.
I'm
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. He said he's been to California. He understands. I've lived all over the United States. I've lived in Virginia. I've lived in California. I lived in Oregon. I lived in Washington for a little bit. Florida, Oklahoma for some odd reason because that's where the Navy decided to send me. And I don't know. None of them were like so good that I want to stay there.
Yeah, don't move to Florida. It's a terrible idea.
Yeah, I mean they don't have really a winter like lasts from like January to February, and then it's like, oh, by the way, we're back in summer again.
Yeah, they have dry season and rainy season. Those are their seasons there.
I don't miss the rain. I lived there for 3.5 years, and then I was traveling a lot during that time.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
they're
went to
also
Japan a lot.
it likes to flood a lot.
I lived through 2 hurricanes there, so
Only
I do
two?
recall. Only 2. Yeah, I was there during the big one though in 2016 or 17. I can't remember. It was awful.
My husband's originally from Florida and Louisiana, so only 2?
Yeah. I mean, I've lived through wildfires in California.
Yeah.
But where I live, there hasn't been a wildfire. Like, there was a close one years and years ago, but like, yeah, it's been about it.
September Dragon Audio. Where I live, you can get all 4 seasons in one day. Yes, Sam.
That sounds. I mean, sometimes we get that, but usually it's either one or the other. It's like going to be cold, it's going to be hot.
Louisiana?
No, that's where September Dragon lives. He doesn't live in Louisiana. He lives in more up north.
Oh no.
I can't remember where he lives.
Sounds like I need to live in Toronto.
I would not.
What's Toronto like?
I don't know. I've never
Oh.
been.
I'm googling Toronto.
King's the better one to ask.
Send me the deets.
It's a city in Ontario, and therefore it's garbage. Because Ontario sucks, King. No one likes Ontario.
What's the average?
It's expensive to live there. It's one of the most expensive cities in Canada. We have 4 seasons here too, but they're almost winter, still winter, and potholes.
Potholes. So it's more expensive than 66% of North America, not even counting just Canada. Wow.
Yeah.
For a single person, $3,600 a month, and a family of 4 is $6,200 a month. Okay. That's Canadian money, though. What's that in American?
Well,
Let's find out.
It depends on the
Probably
day.
the same.
No, it's not.
3.6 Canadian to US. 2,700. That's not too bad.
You also get healthcare with that.
See, that's not bad. I don't have well, I have healthcare because I was in the military, but and my wife has to spend like $19 a month for healthcare, but she's mostly covered.
I don't know what it is in Ontario. I know BC used to charge per month for how much for healthcare.
Oh, I thought Canada was all.
Well, you see, you get it no matter what.
Yeah.
So, but I think BC went to free. I don't know if Ontario went to it or not, but Alberta's been free for many, many years. I don't pay anything. It comes out of my federal taxes, or my my income taxes. So when I pay my income taxes, it comes out of that automatically. So it's something I never have to worry about.
Yeah, living in California, we have affordable health care pretty much all over the place. It's still expensive, but most thing I found expensive here for healthcare is vet care. Vets here are so expensive. It's $400 to get my cat fixed.
Yep.
$400. In Oklahoma, that was $100, if that, plus shots.
Yeah.
So, you know.
It's a vet. They can charge whatever they want.
Yeah, they're all private, so, you know, that's what it is. But my cat's, he needs to get fixed soon because he's getting to that age. I will not, he's an inside cat, so I'm not going to deal with him spraying the walls.
Yeah, that's fair. And your cat should always be inside. People, keep your cats inside. It's really bad for the bird population to let them outside. They kill for fun.
Yeah, my cats like to watch the birds.
Birds are government spies anywhere. Get them.
No,
Did you
they're
see that?
not.
I saw a TikTok yesterday actually about that. Some person accidentally ended up at a birds aren't real rally. And it's just a bunch of people holding signs like, these are government conspiracies. And I'm like, okay, there's no way this is real. It's so funny though. I would definitely show up to this.
The guy who started the conspiracy was doing it as a joke.
That's how everything starts.
Yeah, he's like, this went way out of control, but whatever.
Like, what's that one? Basically a cult, Scientology. The guy literally started as a joke saying, I can get rich people to pay for anything. And he did. And now Scientology is real. And they worship him, even though he's dead.
Yep. And his texts are like put onto slabs so they'll never be lost.
Yeah, that's so funny. And scary. So, that's cool, I guess.
But we will not talk about Scientology because I don't need to be put on their radar.
I don't on the radar.
I don't need to be dealing with them.
They can find me. I'm ex-military. Doesn't mean anything. I just am. They can take me out if they wanted to. I'm just here.
I have the power of anime on my side.
Yeah. I've watched every episode of Naruto. Let's go. Even the fillers.
Oh, no, not the fillers. That's the worst time.
I
some
think you
really-
unlock
okay.
a Sharingan if you do that.
There's some really good fillers out there, to be honest. There's some that like add new characters. Like there's this one that adds Itachi's love interest, and essentially, like the night he was to kill his entire clan or whatever, he finds her, and he has to kill her too. He's kind of sad about it. He uses his Sharingan to make her see a world where the two were together and able to live a happy life. And then she thanks him, and then he kills her. And it's like really sad, but like it added so much depth to this character. It's a filler episode. Like it's not real.
Oh no.
But it's so sad though, you know?
Yeah.
Apparently Tom Cruise will come after us.
I mean, I don't care about Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
He's rude. So
He jumped
was
on
on a bunch
Oprah's
of-
couch.
he was also on when he was recording what's it called? Top Gun 2. He was on the ship with he was on an actual Navy ship, and he was apparently rude to every single person that wasn't part of the crew.
Oh.
Like he's like rude to the Navy sailors and stuff. Which is, you know, they're just regular people working. Like, you know, everyone joins for whatever their own reason is.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's just rude to them, just because he's Tom Cruise.
Yep.
So, you know, I don't care about Tom Cruise. And I'll never watch any of his movies.
Hey, look,
So,
there's
to be fair, I'm not missing out on much.
I think there's something on this side of the ship. Push. Oh, man,
I think-
overboard. Oh no.
You know, the reason that
guy.
he was so rude to them is because that's a military ship. It's not a cruise ship.
Yeah, but he was given like a captain's room, which, I mean, obviously, you have to be a captain in the military to have.
Not
but-
if you're Tom Cruise.
Yeah. Oh, apparently, you're so important, you can just jump the ranks.
Again, oh no, I think there's something over here, you know? It'd be, oh, look, going overboard, oh no.
Yeah. oh,
Someone
man,
should
overboard.
help him. No one seems to be hearing me. Welcome on Tour of Night, and you're not late. You're
Like
all
a
good.
wizard, you show up exactly when you need to, or whatever that quote is. I can't remember.
Cruise ship.
So the cost of living is 1,200 more in San Francisco compared to Toronto. So that's gross.
This is
What's-
why I don't live in the States.
I mean, that's not the States. That's just like
California. I
San
can
Francisco itself is basically its own state
Mm.
within our state.
yeah, fair. I'd hate to know how much New York is.
You know, I don't know if New York's higher.
Ooh.
Let's see. New York City? Because New York itself isn't very high, but New York City might be.
New York, Manhattan.
New York City, average cost of
Manhattan is really
living.
high. Hello, 42.
5,300 for a single person. So yeah, it is 2,000 higher than. But the family of four is cheaper. So just living by yourself is more expensive.
Mm.
Interesting. Oh, hold on. I'm not doing the right numbers here. Oops. So I think they're pretty much the same. It's 94% higher than the national average, so yeah. Where's some numbers I can check out here? What I'm saying is don't live in San Francisco. Unless you like absolutely have to for work reasons and your job pays amazingly, there's no reason to live in San Francisco.
The hills. The hills look really nice.
Oh, it's pretty. It's beautiful there, and it's not hot. Like it doesn't get that hot because
Oh.
the breeze coming off the water just keeps it a nice cool temperature all year round.
That's fair.
But it also gets really cold because of the breeze off the water.
For the same exact reason I
Yeah,
just
same
gave
reason
you.
to come here during summer is the median household income is 119,000. No. Done. Anyways, horror stuff. What's your guys' favorite? I don't know.
I've got a new video coming out tomorrow that has a As the Raven Dreams story in it.
Oh, fun.
It might tell you to leave your lights on. Don't turn them off. You never know what's in the dark.
But
I always have my lights
the
off.
electric bill.
Just a light. I mean, we have LEDs. It's fine.
Yeah, you're right. I can use my phone for light.
Yeah.
Put it on
yeah.
the floor and have it shining straight up into the sky.
There you go. See? He's figuring it out.
Or some candles. I actually have candles because the power used to go out a lot in Oklahoma. So I still have a bunch of candles.
Plus
Yeah, I don't know
candles
why the power just always went off in Oklahoma.
Because
just-
it's Oklahoma.
Yeah, it's flat, windy, gross.
He's on
So cheap there
fire.
though. I spent less than $1,000 on a 3-bedroom house with a massive backyard.
Yeah.
Here I have no backyard, huge house or a decent sized house, 3 bedrooms, $2,200.
Yeah, sounds right.
So
Yeah.
like this house is nicer than the last one, but this house equivalent in Oklahoma is $1,200. There's no way.
Same. Like, what's it called? In my college town, I had an extremely large apartment, like 2-bedroom with huge patio, like living space was insane. And now I have an apartment that's half the size, but I pay twice as much for because I'm closer to the city.
You don't live in the city?
No,
No.
I'm like on the outskirts of the city.
No, he
Okay,
just likes to cut and shoot.
Yep.
Do you have fiber where you live at least?
No.
Me neither.
Yeah, it's a nightmare.
I want fiber. I'm tired of uploading hour-long videos, and it takes me literally 2 hours.
I have
Well,
fiber.
you can get a lot of fiber from
What
sweet
fiber?
potatoes.
I have fiber.
You have? I need some fiber. Send me some sweet potatoes.
You got it.
Let me try those Texas sweet potatoes. See if they're any different.
I'll grab them out of my garden where I grow them.
All right.
Okay.
I'll send you my address.
1, 2, 3, somewhere in California.
California Way, California, California.
Yeah, there you go.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're supposed to get fiber actually running through here because they're building fiber all the way up to Oregon from I think, Sacramento. So this is building fiber lines all the way up according to Biden's plan, but they haven't started it yet. So I'm waiting because I'm living in my hometown currently.
Apparently, Furberry says he's not desperate for faster internet. I mean, you live in the middle of nowhere, Furberries, which is just the whole province you live in is in the middle of nowhere.
Mm.
Middle of nowhere. I used to live in the middle of nowhere.
Faster
That's not
internet
fiber.
sounds like fun.
Fiber
It's
or
nice.
factor?
And how many people we have in my house, but we need faster internet. There's so
I
many.
got
of
2
us.
people living here, but we still need faster internet because my upload speed is capped at like 200 megabytes, I think. No matter how fast the internet is.
Mm.
And yeah, it's terrible. And I'll spend like $70 on it a month. That's way too much.
Yeah.
Oh,
I get mine for free because like it's included with my rent.
yeah. Yeah.
No.
You guys pay less for your internet than we do, but because ours is like $100 a month.
Oh, that's what I had before. Before, like, you know, the apartment complex was like, "Hey, we're giving away free internet." I was like, "All right, bye."
Toodaloo.
I had AT&T fiber, and that was, I mean, it's the fiber was good, but like the Wi-Fi on AT&T is so bad. Definitely not worth it. Xfinity Wi-Fi is the way to go.
I don't know. I have bad experiences with Xfinity.
I don't know. I haven't had a single issue with them yet, except for my Xfinity router overheated once because, yeah,
Reasons.
my dog laid on it.
Oh, jeez.
She
Reasons.
blocked. She's very small, but she blocked the filter on top where not the filter, where the air comes out on the top.
Yep.
She like laid on front of it, and literally it just said, "Oh, nope, we're turning off."
Yep.
And I'm like, "What happened? No, the internet. I was doing something." Because my entire life revolves around the internet, because that's where my work is. That's where my fun, wind down time is. So I've been playing a lot of Cyberpunk lately, so I guess I don't really need the internet for that.
As long as you just,
The
as long as you don't sit
yeah.
on the vent for the computer, you'll be good.
Yeah,
What
the
else?
anime for Cyberpunk was extremely sad.
I haven't finished it yet. I watched the first 3 episodes, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna finish the game. Actually, I'll come back.
I already know
Oh,
how the
God.
game ends, so.
The game has multiple endings, and I haven't got near any of them.
Sorry, I know what the good ending is, so which I
There's
think
a
is the
good
canon ending. Oh yeah,
No.
there was quotes around that. The good ending's still not that good.
I will say this, like the soundtrack is fire though.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
it's just like, oh my gosh,
For the anime?
every single track, yes, every single
Oh.
track just slaps,
I
slaps
was
harder
not
than my dad.
enjoying I was not enjoying the video game soundtrack for like the radio stations, but the actual music from the game was fine.
Yeah.
I didn't realize you needed to build your character in a way so they can craft things. So I cannot craft any weapons, and so I'm stuck with ground weapons, and they're terrible.
Oh, that sucks.
So I'm like getting run over by people. I'm like, why am I losing? Like I'm playing the exact same way I always was, and I'm like, oh, I need to be able to craft weapons, and I put 0 points in crafting.
Well, that explains a lot.
All of a sudden, I'm just suck at this game. I mean, I'm not really good at video games per se. But at
Yeah.
least I don't die this much on normal difficulty.
I'm one of those.
normal.
I'm one of those average story plot enjoyers. So
Same.
I don't ever do the thing where it's like, oh yeah, you got to be playing hard mode, otherwise it doesn't count. I was like, man, forget that. I wanna know what the story is.
Well, I would turn around going, and I know what the story is. Do you? No?
Yeah,
Maybe you
it's
shouldn't play it on normal.
there's a big stigma, like whenever you're like a gamer in online spaces where everybody expects you to be like, to be just like absolutely god tier, otherwise you're not a real player, and it's just like, come on.
I beat Elden Ring under level. Ooh, I'm so cool.
Yeah, I know, right?
I mean, I did beat Elden Ring under level, but it's only because I don't know the recommended levels. And I just kind of went to the last enemy with the stupid broken whips and just slapped them till they died, which they did.
Slap,
That's
you
how
dead
I
yet?
do.
Slap, you dead?
Elden
Slap.
Elden Ring was so good, actually. I wish I could play it some more, but I cannot do it again. It'll like warp my life. I literally did not upload videos for a whole month because I was trying to finish Elden Ring.
You could have uploaded that. Jeez.
I have it sitting on my
Nobody
desk and
watched
I
my
haven't
gameplay.
started it for that reason, because I'm like, I don't want to get lost in it, especially because I have like so much work to do. It's just like,
Yeah, I get one video out every 2 weeks, and I mean that doesn't sound like a lot, but my videos are long, and yeah.
yeah.
Also, I'm trying not to burn out because I was doing a video a week for a while, and it's like 20 to 40 minute videos every week with like heavy
forever.
editing, audio editing. Gotta make interesting edits, or else it just it doesn't hold or stand out amongst my peers. Like it's rough.
You know what? If my peers could lower their standards a little bit, that'd be
Let me
great.
contact them real quick. Let me get what's my content like? Let me see if I can.
Well, Serafin, are you planning to still do the all the sound stuff that you did before? Is that what you want?
Yes.
Do you need to find an editor who's willing to do that? Because that's a lot of work.
I know. It is a lot of work. that and like I didn't exactly burn out, but like I was on my way to it because that's a lot of work. And the thing is, I enjoy it because of what it is. I'm not so sure that the audience is engaging with it. I mean, like I got great comments from like the authors who said that they were like, oh man, like the way that you did it, like brought me to tears. That was my story coming to life, and that's nice to hear. But like my views were always averaging about the same, so it's kind of like, I wonder if it just like chunking more content out there is better. Which sucks because you don't want to sell out like that. You don't want to just be like, I'm cranking out 9 videos a week and that's why I have like so many high stats. It's just like I didn't get into this to just crank out videos and make YouTube money. I got into it because I liked it as an art. And that's basically what I wanted to go for.
So I do one video every 2 weeks.
Wife's in the
kinda
chat.
hard.
Not your wife, but just a wife.
I was about to say, what's she doing in the chat when I told her to be in the kitchen?
She can do both.
I have a TV in my kitchen, so whenever I'm cooking food, I can just click.
Yeah, same.
My house is a giant open building. It's like one long hallway that's essentially like the dining room. Then one area is the living room, and there's a second living room which I don't know what to do with. So I'm putting all my old gaming consoles in there for now. So I will literally throw on like creepypastas while I'm prepping dinner. Because I work from home. My wife works out and about. So she leaves the house. I clean. I cook.
Let me ask you
I
this.
work on my YouTube stuff. Yeah.
do you have the same thing that, like since you work from home, that after, like completing a work shift and, like doing all the other stuff that you got to do, you just cannot stand to be inside of your own house?
Yeah, I like to just. That's the reason we've been going to like coffee shops so much lately, is so I can get out of the house.
Yeah, same. Yeah, like I
And the gym.
I
Go to the gym
work
all the
from
time.
home, and it's just like, after 8 hours of a work shift and then doing like all the other, like voiceover stuff that I do, it's like I can't stay here. Like I gotta get out. It
Yeah.
is nightmarish.
I
I mean,
spend so much time in front of this computer; it's ridiculous.
first world problems. I mean, right? But
Yeah, I mean it's nice to work from home, to be honest.
yeah,
It's really
yeah,
nice.
no, it is 100%. Like I don't have to sit in traffic for like 2 hours a day getting to and from my office. So I mean, like that's fine.
Well, I have to
But
drive-
like,
I do
yeah.
have to drive my wife to work though, because it gets like, so she's night blind, cannot see at night at all. So whenever she has to work past now, because of daylight saving 7, so anytime she's working past 7, I have to drive her to and from work.
Night Blind is an excellent name for a band. I wonder how come nobody's ever done that before.
Googling it now. Night blind. Band.
No,
Oh, there's a
but
band.
seriously, though, if I did tell my wife to get in the kitchen, she'd probably hiss at me.
Oh, you dated the hissing girl in high school?
No, but she's like, she's overworked because she's like, so she works at a hospital doing lab work, and her lab was designed for 3 people. So like this is a 3-person lab, and the workload is consistent with 3 people. And then like about 3 months ago, 2 people quit,
Oh no.
and the
That's all.
hospital's been dragging their feet at
Bro, she works in a
hiring new
lab
people.
though? She must make money.
Yeah, I mean, like she stands the chance to make good money, but like again,
Oh,
this is not a good hospital. So,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
but
My
like,
wife's a barista, so she
Right.
loves her job. Well,
Yeah.
and hates it.
but like the thing is, so she's been like carrying the workload. But basically, if she were to quit, this hospital would go under, right? But
Yeah.
like. She's basically been carrying like the work of 3 people on her back, no
But
questions
she only
asked.
gets paid the work of one person.
And she only gets paid the work of one person.
Yeah, I
And
know that feels-
mind you, she's been looking for other jobs as we speak, because she's like, yeah, no, forget this. I'm not staying here doing this crap.
Oh, no, I'm gonna turn around going, you've got 2 options. Hire 2 people or start paying me more.
Yeah.
Because
Or
That's what my friend Brandon did, and then they fired him. Hired 2 new people, so he apparently wasn't working enough to carry 2 people.
Yeah. So it's just kind of like at this point, like if I asked her to do literally anything else, she'd be like, you had better change your tone real quick. And I'm like, okay.
how about we go
Yeah.
for that Spanish exorcism again?
Yeah, I've tried, like I try to be like super understanding, because I get it, like that is some crap.
Yes.
And I'm like, yeah, you know what? Nobody should work this hard for a company that obviously gives no craps about like how hard you're working. So,
Yeah.
just 100%. I get it. I'm not about to like make your life harder just by being difficult.
But that's
Yeah.
that's your middle name, being difficult.
Yeah,
What's her first name?
No, his
being is my first name. Difficult is my middle name.
Difficult's middle name. Okay. Being difficult. Bard.
That's right.
Yep.
Speaking of names, where'd you get your name from?
I thought it sounded cool.
Nice.
It's just, like a bard is a storyteller, but I was like, yeah, but like just a bard is a bard, like what else can you throw on there to make it sound cool? I was like, what's really cool? Midnight. Anytime something has the word midnight in it, it's automatically 25% cooler. I was like, hell yeah, midnight bard, baby.
Yeah, if you look at my Discord, everyone who's in there that's like a content creator or horror content creator, I put them in a group called the Midnight Writers.
Mm.
Midnight is cool. You're right.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know why I made that separate group. I hardly ever talk to actual creators on there. I'll just come over to this Discord. Way easier.
This one's pretty dead half the time, though.
I do see messages here
Yeah.
frequently, though, I thought. Yeah, I'm misremembering.
It depends. Sometimes we talk more, but for the most part, it's just mostly for my live streams. This is what it's kind of become. But, I mean, if you want to reach out to each other, this is also a good spot, because I mostly just keep creators in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine's got a fan section, and then it's got the creators and my friends section. But I've been getting a lot of messages from fans lately trying to get me to play games with them and stuff. I'm like, guys, I can't. It's unfair if I just play with a bunch of random, like play with a bunch of people and then not play with others, because then I'd play with everybody, right?
Yeah.
I'm big on fairness. Like everything should be fair.
Here's
Yeah.
what you do. You start a Patreon, and if they want to play with you, like, hey, you know what? Like my platinum tier members get to play a game with me every month.
I do have a Patreon, and people that people who do the Patreon, the middle one, I don't know what it's like, probably like $5, $10 a month, or whatever it is, get to chat with me once a month about the state of the channel and upcoming projects and stuff. Now, I only have like 3 Patreon supporters, and I'm very thankful for them.
Yeah. I was the same way, but like it was kind of like I'm not putting out as much content as I used to, so I was like, it's unfair to keep taking money from Patreon supporters. So I was like, I'm just gonna close it.
My biggest issue is not uploading enough to stuff on my Patreon. Like I put my videos out there a day early, and then I am starting to upload scripts and behind the scenes stuff and polls, but it's just I don't feel like I'm doing enough because they're all paying me the max $25.
Oh wow.
Very nice.
One of them's my friend, so he wants to be supportive and he wants me to read his name every time I finish a video. So.
Yeah, I've got.
I read his name.
My max is $5 for my Patreon.
I made it really cheap, so I did $3, $5, and $10, and then $25.
Mine's
like,
one.
No one will do this one.
1, 3, and 5 for my 3.
Yeah, I think I was something similar. I was like 1, 3, and 5, or like I was like 1, 5, and 10.
You had a $7 one in there.
I had a $50 one in there, but like the $50 one was because I really did not want anybody to sign up for it because I do art, like I what's it called? I've done comic book art in the past, and like I do digital art, so it was kind of like. But here's the thing: I don't enjoy doing it because I'm getting paid for it. Like, because nothing sucks more than having somebody pay you for a piece of art and then they want to critique you the entire way. That sucks. I hate that. So what I would do is I would be like, this is my $50 tier. If you sign up for this tier, once a month, you get to tell me something to draw and I'll draw it. And I only had like 2 open slots for it too. It was one of those things where I was like, only 2 people can hold this slot a month. Because I was like, I'm not gonna like keep selling my art over Patreon. That's just a quick way to make me hate everything.
Yeah.
And then your tablet died, so.
And then my tablet died, so now I was like, yeah, well, there was no point anyway. So.
I was definitely looking to hire someone to do some art for me.
Yeah, I know. Like I have a buddy from high school who's starting a podcast, and he was like, hey, do you know anyone who could do some podcast like logo art? And I was like, yeah. And then right then my what's it called, tablet died, and I haven't spoken to him in months because I don't want to be like, yeah, it was me, but now I can't.
It was me, but then my tablet died. You want to buy me a new tablet, and I'll do it.
I will say this though, I'm making enough with voice acting now that I can absolutely get a new one if I wanted to. Good. But the thing is, I want to. Yeah.
That's awesome.
But thank you. But the thing is, I want a really nice one so that it won't die within 3 months like the other one did. So I'm like, I'm just gonna save up for a few months.
You get the really cheap tablet that I have that doesn't even have a screen on it. It was $30.
I do have one of those, and it sucks. I hate it.
I use it for photo editing. I don't use it for drawing because I can't draw. You see my drawings; they're not very good.
Your drawings are fine.
Yeah, that was fine. I'm fine.
Your drawings are fine.
It's like a 5-year-old drawing, but it's all good. I was never very good.
But like if it was like compared to other 5-year-olds, you'd be like at the top of the class. You're like the gifted 5-year-old.
Yes.
You got this.
The gifted 5-year-old
burns out. That's who you are.
How'd you guys
You would
know?
get the gold stars. The gold stars on it. Here you go.
So what do you voice act for? Or who do you voice act for? I guess like companies or.
Yeah. So, and you know that I don't want to like toot my own horn here a lot, but like, so I've been in a video game.
Which one?
Here's the funny thing. I have no clue.
Oh.
I know my character's name, and I know that he was some kind of hunter NPC that helps the main character like find where things are. But when I asked the guy making the video game, who I suspect works for a big company because I googled his name, he never replied. So I'm probably in a video game out there somewhere, and if I ever run across the character name, I'll be like, "That's me." But like
Do you know
until
the
I find it, to me, it sounded like an RPG. It sounded like a post-apocalyptic RPG. Like just based on what I was reading, because there was orcs, but there was jet skis. So
I don't think I'm gonna have orcs and jet skis together. So I was gonna be like, all right, guys, it's time to figure out where he is. What game is it?
So like I
next video
messaged him
series.
and I said, hey, you know what? Like, could you tell me the name of the game? Because I would love to share it with my friends and fans. And never got back to me. So I'm like, okay, I guess I'm just in a video game out there somewhere.
Somewhere, Serafin, the Midnight Bard, is in a video game, and he doesn't even know it.
wanna find
I
that game now.
am.
Let's see.
I am in a commercial in Argentina.
Oh, even better.
So I know what the commercial is for. It's like a player's handbook. Like, hey, are you tired of being lonely? Let me tell you the secrets to picking up women.
Oh, right.
Oh, you're one
yeah.
of those. That's
That's so.
to be fair, that's funny.
It's pretty funny, man. I laughed, and they paid really well too. So I was like, okay, I'm not complaining. Let's go.
From Argentina, did you have to do it in Spanish?
I had to do it in Spanish, yes.
Makes sense. Okay.
Yeah. So that's the other one I'm in. I'm in a training module for like a self-help thing or like a mental health thing. So I'm in it basically is like, oh, you know, if you would like more information about mental health, click our link in the description or like click our link in our module and it will take you to our resources that'll help you find what you need. You know, I'm that guy.
Wow, that's actually
I-
pretty awesome though.
I'm in the one that I'm most excited about is the one that I can speak least about because they're the only ones that made me sign an NDA. But it's a true crime limited series, and I play multiple characters in it.
But as soon as it comes out, you can talk about it.
Oh yeah, as soon as it comes out, I can talk about it. But until then, I gotta keep quiet because they were like, yeah, you know, like the company's been great, and it was one of those things that I was like, this is too good to be true. So the entire time, I thought I might be getting scammed, up until I got paid. And then I was like, oh no, they're the real deal.
Hey, wait, no, hold on, this was a real thing. Damn.
Yeah, so like the entire time I'm kind of waiting for the other shoe to drop, so it was amazing. But like, yeah, I'm beyond excited for that one. So the thing about it is, until it releases, I can't say anything, which sucks because I love to talk about it. I would love to talk about it because it's like, hey, you know what? This is a true crime thing that made its rounds across the internet. Like many YouTubers talked about it, and it was kind of like one of those like, oh shoot, that's one of those weird mysteries that was never really solved. And I was like, I want to talk about, but I can't say anything.
I guess we'll just have to wait.
Yeah.
Yep.
Still cool though. How'd you get into voice acting in general?
Basically, via being on YouTube telling scary creepypastas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like basically, so my channel was initially like a means for me to experiment with voice acting, to learn editing and recording and like the terminology and like, you know, the equipment, so that I could eventually make the leap over to voice acting. And then after I got enough experience, I started looking for where I could jump over to voice acting, and the first place I landed was Audible, narrating audiobooks. And then after that, just kind of like basically just kept looking, and things just kind of kept popping up. It's like, hey, are you looking to be a voice actor? Well, audition here, audition here, audition here. There's a lot of different places where you can, and yeah, the thing is, nobody talks about them. So
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
I follow a bunch of voice actors that are like medium to really popular, and they never talk about where they start. They just kind of talk about other things.
yeah. I mean, like anytime like anybody's like, "Hey, I want to get into it," I will gladly share like where I've been with them. However, like there is one thing to be said about that, and it's that results may vary because what it is like a lot of times you're gonna be sending in like 80 auditions before you get one call back, and it's kind of like you pretty much have to keep grinding. It is what it is, like, and when paid work comes, it's fantastic. But like, you'll always, it's what everybody always says, like whenever you're successful, everybody always only sees the success. They don't see the amount of work you put into it. And that's basically what's going on here is that, like, I talk about like, oh yeah, you know what, like I'm in this, I'm in that, I'm in that, and everyone's like, man, Bard's doing great. But on the inside, I'm like, oh my God, the amount of auditions I had to send out though.
3,892.
I know that for a fact on one of them, on one of the sites that I audition in, I've sent out over 80 auditions because they actually count. The other one doesn't count, but I know that I've been doing it longer, so I'm like, I've probably auditioned over 200 times in that one for sure. So, and like you can count the number of paid jobs that I've had on like one hand. I've probably had like 7 or 8. And that's per 280 auditions. So the only one that's consistent is Audible for some reason, because like whenever you start off in Audible, they get you with like with self-publishers first. So whenever you're with self-publishers, they're less picky about your equipment and sound quality and all this and all that. So a lot of the times, if they like your voice, they'll go with you. And additionally, a lot of the times they're not paying out of pocket anyway. Like they're doing something that Audible does, which is basically like you and the author get like a 50-50 split off of what the book makes.
That's cool. What audiobooks have you done so far?
I've done one called The Barons, which is I don't want to give the story away, but it's a story about a cryptid.
Oh, okay.
So
from a cryptid's perspective.
Yeah, no, it's from basically if you've ever seen like a classic slasher movie, it's that, but like it's like a creature feature. There's a cryptid in it, and it's lost or it's loose in the woods, and your group of campers is trying to get away from him, or trying to get out alive, basically. But like, so it's a fun read, and it was fun to read it. The one that I'm working on, or that I've been working on for the longest, it was actually like the first one to respond back to me was one called it's the Divination and Darkness series, which is about a female magician who didn't know that she was a wizard until until she was under a high stress event and she caused an earthquake. But there's people out there who hunt magicians, so the moment her powers manifest, now she's in their crosshairs. So that one's a series. For that one, I've done the first book, I've done the prequel, and I just recently finished reading the sequel. And a very fantastic editor is helping me edit it, so that way all I had to worry about was the reading. And I am super thankful to this editor. They have no idea the amount of that they have saved me from myself.
It's okay. I heard you're paying them pretty well.
Yeah, I'm paying them. I am paying them. I don't know if I'm paying them well, but I am paying them.
I am paying them.
So like that's something that's fun. But other than that, I think I read one, and this one I'm under NDA too. But it was an anthology. It was 16 different stories, all revolving around the same subject.
Ooh.
That's cool.
Which was kaijus.
Oh.
but
Even cooler.
there was a production problem, so like we kind of basically got stuck, and I've been waiting to see if it resolves, but I've received no feedback for a while. So I'm basically I'm like, you know what? If that one ever gets solved, it'd be great. If not, then I guess we're good. But there's others, but I don't know. I think I've read like a grand total of 7.
Man, that's a lot of books to read, though.
Yeah.
Like I spent, so my scripts are incredibly long, but I spend most of my time just reading through creepypastas and stories and internet archives and stuff just to put together a video.
Mm.
But I couldn't imagine like taking a book and reading it aloud as a job.
It takes some people can do it like super quick. Like there's people who can like read up to 4 hours a day. I get tired. Like my voice gets tired. I'm tired all the time. I work a lot, but like my voice gets tired of reading like after maybe like an hour and a half. So like usually I do like about an hour and a half reading. So a long book, being in the neighborhood of like 25 chapters or such, will take me about a month to read through.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And luckily you don't have to edit them anymore, so you don't have to listen to your voice do all the mistakes.
Well, I love hearing my own voice. I hate hearing myself make the mistakes because I'm like, you're fine, you idiot. But like, I'm tripping over the same word like every time, and it's gotten to the point where I'm like, you know what? I need some anger management, so I could just sit back here and it's like, the moment I trip over the word the third time, it's like, breathe, serenity now, serenity.
Serenity now. No, I get really aggravated when I make the mistake on the same paragraph, all in the same word, like 5-6 times, and I have to listen to the word because I'm like, I'm saying it wrong, and then and then by the time you get to it, and yeah, I've pieced together things just to make it work because I just couldn't say that word in a sentence.
Yeah, and you start to get mad at the word, like you're just like, why are you like this? It's just like,
why do you exist?
Sometimes I will change the word. I've had to do that a couple times where like, I can't say this word, so I'm just gonna go with a word that's very similar or close enough that the meaning didn't change the sentence.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to.
Like, yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess sometimes you have to, like, but the Audible, like, people, like, they don't like it when you change their words. Like,
Yeah.
I've had several times where they'll, like, message me back and they're like, hey, in this chapter you said this, it's this, but it's the same sentence, right? So, like, it's not that I changed a word, but, like, I read words, like, how sometimes you can mix words in a sentence and it still makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like they're like, yeah, but that's not what I wrote, and I'm like, okay, I'll go back and re-record it. It's fine.
Yeah, it's different when they're paying you, but yeah, when it's a story that I'm not paying anyone for, and they're not paying me for, it's like, I can't say that word. I'm going to change the word. We got the sentence.
Yeah,
it's kind of a weird thought actually, because I give credit to everyone's stories as long as I can find the actual author for it, even if it's just like I pulled sources from them.
Yeah.
Because I make money off of covering stuff that they've created.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's kind of like, it's a weird scenario. My cat is meowing.
No, there's always credit to them, and I always say their username and all that jazz when you can. Like, especially with the Creepypasta Wiki, sometimes it doesn't have an author's name, so you're just like, I don't know who wrote this, so...
Yeah, a lot of them say anonymous, or they're like, oh, this source from 4chan. It's like, well, then there's no source really, because 4chan stuff goes down immediately upon recycling or whatever they do. I don't know. But like,
when
the
you
stories
really
don't stay
think about
forever.
it, though, like what a person does as a horror narrator isn't really that much different from what like a studio does, because like they like get views and popularity off of stuff that other writers have created too.
Yeah, but they normally pay those writers. Not great, but they pay them.
Yeah.
I would pay if I could like get a creepypasta writer who wanted to write creepypastas for me. I'd pay them, but I don't just read creepypastas. I analyze them and I connect them to other things. I make a big deal out of them, more than they probably are. Like I took Zalgo, which is like barely a creepypasta. It's more like an internet horror phenomenon that took place in like 2011, 12. and I made a whole 20-minute video out of it. And I found out that the creator's kind of a creep. So
Oh, that's great.
Mhm.
yeah.
Welcome, Dexter. Welcome to the fun.
Oh man, it's been a long time since I've talked to Dexter.
I'm hoping his sister is staying out of the lab. Trish breaks everything.
Did you guys see the Cartoon Network stream that was going on for like a whole month?
I heard that Cartoon Network had they're merging with like what WB or something, and people are like, oh,
They're merging with Time Warner and somebody else. I
Time
think.
Warner, that's the one. Yes,
I always thought Time Warner owned them because they played a lot of old cartoons, but
it was
they're
like
just showing their old cartoons. That's all they were doing for like
Yeah.
a month on end. And I kept tuning in and catching the same episode over and over again.
Oh no.
I was trying to watch Dexter's Laboratory actually. I kept getting kept catching Kids Next Door and Uncle Grandpa.
Uncle Grandpa was weird.
It was
don't-
so weird, but I actually liked it.
I don't think we had that one up here.
You guys have We Bear Bears?
No, I don't
I
think.
like that one too.
We had Dexter's Lab. There's actually 16 and Total Drama Island.
Those are Canadian.
Yep.
Those
Just-
are Canadian.
Yep, they were
Yeah.
made by Teletoon.
I didn't like 16 that much, but I love Total Drama.
Yeah, they're
That-
made by the same people.
16 was fun to me. I thought it was kind of cool. I especially like the dude bro who's very clearly high all the time.
Who voiced the guy for who was the who was Chris in Total Drama Island? It's the same voice actor.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yep. Yeah, they
There was
they took a couple of voice actors because they did 16 first, and then they did Total Drama Island. They took a few of the voice actors that they had for 16 because it got canceled or finished or whatever happened, and they took them over to Total Drama. And Total Drama lasted quite a few seasons.
It's still
Yeah.
on. There's a new season now.
Oh god.
yeah they just released like a new one, right?
Total
But
Drama
like,
Fiction.
there's one scene from 16 that sticks with me, and it's whenever like the stoner is standing next to this girl, and she speaks to him in French. She says like oh, do you speak French? But she says it in French, and he says, sorry bro, I don't speak angel. I was like, oh, that's smooth. I was like, you smooth mother.
He also got a girlfriend, and I remember him puking in her mouth in the movie theater. Like they didn't show it. They just talked about it afterwards, and I'm just like, oh my god.
So the opposite of smooth, really.
yeah.
I guess
worked
you had to
once.
balance it out somehow.
Yeah.
Stoner guy can't get all the girls. He's not Shaggy.
Nah.
No. But he had the moves, and then there was the one guy that always had a new job every single episode.
Those are always my favorite characters. I don't know why, but I love the character who jumps from job to job and is just he's there because he's always doing the job that the episode requires.
Yep, every single time. Every
I
single
just
time.
love that. It's what they did in The Amazing World of Gumball as well. The one guy.
Oh, dude, Amazing World of Gumball is the best. That show is hilarious.
Yeah, yes, it's the funniest show. The creepypasta is terrible, but it's a good show.
Yeah,
And they reference the creepypasta in the show. It's great.
yeah.
Oh.
Like the Amazing World of Gumball is so self-aware. It is ridiculous.
If only
Some of
all
the jokes
shows
are
were.
so adult that it's like, how did it get past censors?
Don't ask questions. The censors
the-
weren't paying attention that day.
I could see like the Amazing World of Gumball being aired on Adult Swim more than I can see it being aired on Cartoon Network, because it felt like some of the jokes were like super mature, like, and not just like like this shouldn't be a joke for kids, but like this is a joke that adults would appreciate a hell of a lot more,
Yeah. It was
like-
always on later in the day, so maybe it was just like they thought adults and kids would be watching at that time, so that's how they made it.
Yeah,
Maybe.
yeah, that's fair.
Kind of like a regular show was very much an adult show for kids.
Yeah.
I never watched that one either.
It's got some moments. It's
Uh,
literally the craziest thing you can imagine for a show. And it was good.
I think I've seen like one episode of regular show, and I was like, this is funny, but like I never like stuck with it.
They did a Halloween episode every year, so I watched every Halloween episode one. Halloween, I guess.
For
I watched all
Halloween.
10.
Oh wow, that was
Yeah.
10 seasons. Jeez.
I think there was 10 or 7. But they had a lot of episodes, so I watched all the Halloween ones, and I didn't have any of the continuity, so like I didn't know what was going on half the time. But every joke was funny. So, there's that, I guess.
I've been told I need to see Adventure Time. Apparently, it's really good.
It started
Adventure
off
Time
really
is-
good.
Yeah, it's a sleeper one. Like it's almost like a slow burn because like a lot of episodes feel like they're about nothing, but like the continuity catches up with you eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
liked it a
Another
lot.
one is Steven's Universe. Been told is a really good one too.
That one's hit or miss. I liked a
Yeah.
couple of the early episodes, but overall didn't care for the themes and storyline because I hated
Yeah,
the main
like-
girl, whatever her name was.
You will either love or you will hate Steven Universe. Like for me, it's not for me because like I don't like. I don't know. It feels very
Cliche.
No, like I feel like the main characters are over emotional, if that makes sense.
They are.
You know,
emotional.
like it's almost like literally anything that happens in the plot, we have to sit and be sad about it. We have to sit and cry about it. And eventually if we do that enough, we resolve the problem. And to me it's kind of like, oh man, like I understand, like you should be emotionally there. You should, like you should be able to feel your emotions and do that. However, I'm more inclined towards shows where it's like, yeah, you know what, life's sad and sometimes it hits you and it sucks, but you get the heck back up and you fight back. Like that's me. So Steven Universe to me is kind of like, like I can see, like why people would like it, but it's not for me.
I also did not enjoy it past season 1. I watched a bunch of random episodes. My friends were all obsessed with it, and so I went back to watch some of the episodes they liked, and I just did not vibe with me. I like Gravity Falls way better.
Gravity
Falls is
really
excellent.
Good. Yeah. No,
Yeah,
I
it's-
watched the whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah, Gravity
watched it
Falls is
twice.
fantastic.
I wish they were able to continue with it. It was so good.
The ending was
Same, but at the same time, it's like the ending is perfectly executed, and like it's so
No,
rare
but
for a show to like that.
Rumpelstiltskin, come on.
The
Yeah,
show treats you like an adult, even though it's for kids. It's like
Yeah.
it lets you understand. So it's like some things kind of tell you things like, oh, this is what's happening, blah blah, and you kind of
Right.
like gives away everything, like the emotion you're supposed to be feeling at this point in time.
This
Gravity Falls
one.
didn't do that.
No.
no,
They're like, here you go, here's Gravity Falls, here's what's happening. We
Figure it
expect
out.
you as an audience to figure out what emotional thing we're telling you, we're showing you here, and they're treating us like adults, essentially. Yeah.
Yeah.
Unlike Steven Universe, which didn't do that. They
Yes.
wanted you to sit there with them, and they're like, hey, we're going to.
we're going to be to
Sad.
this is what we're feeling. We're gonna. What was it? It's like that episode of Futurama where the robot devil jumps onto the stage during an opera. It's like, you can't just have characters tell you how they're feeling. That makes me feel angry.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's exactly right. I didn't realize it until you said it, but no, that's exactly what Steven Universe does, and it makes me so mad.
He gives you adult themes and then treats you like a child.
Yes.
It's like, don't treat me like a child. Like, if you're giving me adult things, let me be an adult and feel what I'm gonna feel.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the latest season, but the Dragon Prince, I think is the name of it.
Oh yeah, the
Dragon Prince is pretty good.
I
The
like that. but-
weird thing about Dragon Prince that gets me is that like it's really good. Sometimes it jokes and it's like there should be no joke here. Like like that this is a serious moment and the joke is too much.
But Sokka is in it.
Oh, I know.
Sokka, isn't it? You're right.
He plays the main character.
He does, and I love it.
I liked the first season, and then I kind of stopped watching before they released the next 2 now. I think it's 2.
I think it's
Yeah.
on 3.
Yeah.
They've just announced the next one too. I think they've confirmed it for like 2023.
Yeah, I think the new season came out, and I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, Dragon Prince is really
They're
good.
on 4 seasons now. Holy crap.
Have you guys seen The Owl House?
No, but I heard that's really
No.
good. But that's done by Disney.
It is done by Disney, but then again, so was Gravity Falls.
Well,
Yeah.
I was just gonna say though, apparently Disney wasn't very into doing it what I heard originally, and then it did
No.
amazing.
It did do amazing, and like the Owl House is one of those things that kind of like sucker punches you. It's
Oh jeez.
and I
Cancel the
can
Owl House?
what they did is they canceled the third season, and I think they gave them like either 3 or 4 movies to wrap up the story.
Okay.
And the reason why, and this is the dumbest reason that I hear, is that they said that it wasn't for their target demographic, because the Owl House, much akin to like we were talking about Gravity Falls a second ago, it doesn't treat you like a kid. Like
Yeah.
it is a very child-coded show, but it's got like some really intense themes going on, and it's almost like, oh well, crap. Like there was like they don't shy away from like the darkness about that's involved in what the show's about, and that's to me, I was like, holy cow, this is great. So like, just not to give anything away, but like so it's this world hopping adventure, right? A girl gets stuck in a world full of demons and witches, and comes to find out that what's it called? The person who owns that world, basically like the emperor who rules over it, is up to some really, really dark stuff. And like some of the revelations that come with that is just like, oh my God, I would never. And it's almost like a deconstruction of like the usual like trapped in another world type story, because like characters trapped in another world are usually like so pumped, so excited, like, oh man, it's a brand new world. Look at all these fantastic elements, these fantastic creatures. Like oh, there's magic, and like it's so exciting, so cool.
So you're
And
telling
some
me the Owl House is an isekai?
yes. However, it's a deconstruction of the isekai genre, because the longer that this character stays in that world, the longer they start to realize, wow, like the fantasy that I always hoped for, that I always dreamed about, is a terrifying thing. It's not as a, like so she starts off very like like rose-colored glasses, everything's great, everything's cool, but the longer she stays there is like the very fate of the world, it could like could be in our hands, and that is terrifying. So it has a lot of like themes where it's kind of like, oh, the hopelessness in the face of inevitability, and like what like what do you do when everything you believe turns out to be very wrong? And it's just like, wow, this show is amazing.
I'm looking up right now. It looks interesting. I can't believe I haven't actually watched this.
There was another show I was gonna mention, but now I can't remember. Oh, it's a Netflix one called Hilda.
Oh, I've heard of Hilda. It looks really cool. Actually,
I really like the world. It is for a little bit younger, but I enjoyed it even as an adult, and the story around it. Basically, it's a world full of gnomes, and the humans are trying to keep the gnomes away. And the ending, I didn't expect.
I've
Oh,
never
it's
even
over?
heard of Hilda.
It's really good, and Hilda's so cute and adorable.
it was recommended to me because I liked Gravity Falls. So I was like, oh, cool, I'll give it a watch, and I never did because I'm so slow to watch recommendations for some reason.
Same.
Apparently, it was a
I
comic
still
book
haven't
first.
finished. Oh, what, it was?
Yeah, apparently, according to King, it was. I love that comic book and cartoon.
Oh.
Oh,
okay.
Canadian
Comic
made too.
books.
Nice. I always love when it's Canadian-made stuff.
Yeah, you guys have some good stuff.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Sometimes. I mean, like, same with the States. Sometimes the stuff's shit, too. So,
You guys gave me goosebumps.
this is
Well,
fair.
you produced Goosebumps, the show, which was pretty
Oh,
terrible.
you meant the show, like not like
Yeah.
they literally gave you goosebumps.
No. Goosebumps was written by an American author. It's R.L. Stein, but the
It
TV show
was
is produced entirely in Canada.
In Toronto, actually. It was specifically.
And the acting it is some of the worst I've ever seen.
Oh,
but
yeah,
that's fine.
but it's kids acting.
I mean,
Yeah,
yeah, like that's kind of the thing about child actors is, it's super hit or miss. They're getting better though.
Yes.
They are actually good actors now. Like, what happened?
Yeah. Well, like I think back in the day, whenever like in the 90s when the show was produced, you just picked kids pick kids up off the street See,
Yeah.
this is why I struggle with reading audiobooks.
You're like, oh,
And
this
you
kid's
just
coming
like-
with me. I need him to voice act. Okay.
Hey, kid, you want to make $20?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how you start a conversation with a child.
Yes. Are You Afraid the Dark was also produced in Canada, at least partly.
Correct.
In
I like-
Richmond, British Columbia. That's why everything looks so familiar. And the greater Montreal area of Quebec. Yeah, that explains why some of the places looked familiar when I was watching it. Because I'm originally from the Richmond is in Vancouver.
I always love seeing shows in areas where I've been. Like, oh, hey, I've been there.
Oh,
That's so familiar.
Supernatural has had an episode in my hometown, and I was like, I'm home.
Wait, that's cool, though.
That is pretty cool.
I wasn't into the show back when they filmed, otherwise I totally would have been one of those groupies going, ah! As I watched them film.
Supernatural had one episode that was set near my hometown, like literally same highway, everything, but it was actually
It was
recorded
filmed-
in Canada.
Oh yeah, it's from the Vancouver area. All of it
Yeah,
was filmed
so-
in the Vancouver area. They
I'm
actually
like,
have
oh, cool.
they have an episode where they come to our world and like, well, at least we're in the States, and you see "Welcome to Vancouver, Canada." He's like, what the hell? I loved it.
This isn't the States.
Nope, none of it took place in the States, which is why you never see them go to Louisiana or Florida or anything.
In season 2, they have an episode where they go to Hollywood,
Mm-hmm.
and they're all wearing coats, and it's like Southern California, so it's gonna be
Yeah.
a little warmer. He's like, man, it's practically Canadian out here. I'm like, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And they're both from Texas, so they're not good with the cold,
Yeah.
probably.
The actors?
Yeah, the actors.
Oh yeah. Well,
Jensen
actually,
Ackles and
they both live
Jared
in
Padalecki.
Well, Ackles lives in Vancouver now. He lives in
He moved
Canada.
out there.
Yeah, he actually owns a place in Vancouver. Him and a bunch of actors live in the same apartment building. All of them live in like the same. Like there's like 3 or 4 actors, like big name actors, live in the same apartment building. And I heard someone say, "Yeah, it's got like the most beautiful people in the world living in this one apartment building."
Neat.
I mean,
I'm surprised I haven't received my invitation then.
Why am I still living over here? They haven't-
No.
I've been trying to tell you to move out here. Come on.
Jared Padalecki is like Walker, Texas Ranger now, though.
Yes,
Yeah,
he
he
is.
is.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
And then
That is funny.
And then Ackles went into The Boys.
Directing.
Yeah,
that
he's-
too. He's also a
He's
director
Soldier
now.
Boy and the Boys.
Yeah, he's
I've seen
directing a
The
new
Boys.
Supernatural new show,
Show, yeah, I saw that.
The
kinda-
Winchesters.
The Winchesters.
Yeah,
That's a cool name for a show, though.
that's their last
Yeah.
name. That's why.
Uh-huh.
They were
I've
the
seen all of
Winchester
Supernatural
brothers.
except for the ending.
I haven't seen all
I
of
didn't
it.
watch the ending.
I haven't watched
Uh,
all of it.
Yeah,
I got to
I stopped like around season 15. I haven't gotten like beyond that.
I made it to season 10, so I saw most of the important stuff.
Yeah, the problem is, like, apparently I found out the show was only supposed to have 5 seasons, which
Correct,
now
yeah.
makes everything make sense.
Yeah, because the 5th season wrapped it up perfectly. Like
Yeah.
the story was over. It was good.
Yeah.
And then they
Eric
literally
Kripke
brought
only
God
signed up
into
for
it.
5. Yeah, they brought him back, and they gave him a sister
Yep.
who was in love with him. Very weird. Very strange.
Well, I mean,
Sometimes shows outlive their purpose,
well,
Yeah.
they did the one thing they wanted to, which was outdo Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
They sure did that.
How
Season,
do Buffy the Vampire Slayer? Man,
Season-
Buffy's still talked about, though.
yeah, but that
Yeah,
was 9 seasons is all Buffy got.
I
only
think
got
Buffy
7.
kind of like, I don't know, man. Like I feel like the ending for Buffy was
Oh,
kind of like
Buffy went on for too long too.
Terrible? Oh, yeah. The
Yeah.
7th season of Buffy was kind of hit or miss.
Oh yeah, the first like couple seasons were really good, and then it got really weird. And he kept bringing in actors from other shows he was doing. Like I actually recognize a lot of the actors from other stuff now that I've seen the same director do, and I'm like, he just reused your actors a lot. Which
that
is
was
fair.
Joss
I mean-
Whedon, right?
Yeah.
That was Joss Whedon, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, Joss Whedon's real bad about that. He loves to like bring in people from other shows that he's doing.
Well,
It-
to be
it's-
fair, he brought some back in from Firefly, and they kind of lost their job because Fox fucked them over. So
Yeah, they got
Firefly
a
was
movie
so good.
Firefly was so good. I'm really
Yeah.
I'm still upset about the Angel ending, too.
yeah, well, I
Angel's
don't.
supposed to get another season, but he asked for it to be renewed slightly early, And the guy's like, nope, we're not going to ruin it at all now. And he's like, okay. And so they
Oh.
lost it, and they lost a bunch of money from it, and then they fired that guy.
Yeah.
But they
Yeah.
didn't bring Angel back.
That sucks because I heard Angel was
so
really good.
Oh,
but
it's so good.
I only saw like the first couple of episodes, and then after that, I don't remember where I was watching it, but I like lost access to it, so I was like, oh, well, I guess I'm just not watching Angel anymore.
Season 1 and 2 are really good. Season 3 is not great in my opinion. It gets really, really meta-ly weird, and I just didn't like it.
I
Season
didn't
4
like-
was the best by far.
The last season was weird because they went to start
What?
working for the bad guys.
Yeah, they worked with the back, but I thought that was cool though, because you got to travel the world, and actually like travel to new locations. They brought Spike back so he could be like a foil to Angel, and then they ended it with the battle that they never showed.
Yeah.
Yep.
well,
Uh,
they didn't
if
get
you-
another season, so
They finished it in the comics, which I read, and it was pretty good. They brought not Angel. They brought back Faith. Faith comes back. She's working with Angel. They brought back Wes, even though he's dead.
yes, they brought. No one stayed dead in that universe except for her
That's
mom.
true. Yeah, I was gonna say,
Oh,
except
just the
for
mom.
what's her name?
Yeah,
Joyce.
Buffy's
Joyce.
mom when she died.
I was about
She
to
died
call her
from-
Felicity, but I was like, that's wrong.
Did she die from a blood clot in her
Aneurysm.
brain?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right
Which
for her
i-
date.
Yeah.
Episode
And
one
that was kind of like
awards,
the
too.
huge thing about it too. It was like, like in a world where everybody's like always dying to like these supernatural forces, her mom dies of natural causes, which is somehow hits you harder because it's like Buffy
Yeah.
had nothing she could do about that. I was like, oof.
Yeah.
This I can't remember the episode. I think it's called "The Grieving" is the episode's title, but it won awards for how well acted it was for a TV episode.
Oh yeah, no, it was.
It
Really
was
good.
so sad
Yep.
Yeah.
It was.
and so well acted.
Yes.
Yeah, like
I-
Sarah Michelle Gellar killed it, dude. Like she
Yeah, she originally, when she auditioned, she went for the bully, and
Cordelia,
the bully went for Buffy. They completely got the opposite roles of what they were auditioning for.
Yeah, Sarah Michelle Gellar and Charisma Carpenter.
Yeah.
yeah. Charisma Carpenter, that's her name.
Yeah.
Both
She act-
careers that kind of went around the place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was a lot older than I thought she was.
Sarah Michelle Gellar,
No,
Charisma Carpenter.
Carpenter. Yeah. She.
Yeah, she was like in her 20s.
She was in her mid to late 20s when she got that part.
Well, they do that now still because like I kind of imagine that like directing young adults is easier than directing teenagers.
Yeah, but
Also,
she
you can't
was.
show as much with teenagers.
And that's true
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
Like they had a sex scene in
Yeah.
season whatever, I can't remember, with Angel.
Yeah.
And they showed a lot of skin, so
I think it was season 2.
and she's an adult, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it was.
not in the
season-
show she isn't though.
No, but
In the
she
show
was.
she was 16 or 17 and he's like 4 million or whatever.
For 200.
He was 200 only? Oh.
Maybe 400.
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't remember his age. I just remember it being weird because he's like 22 or
Vampire
something.
romances get kind of weird when you start to think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. He was.
It's a-
He was. 1753 was when he was turned.
Okay.
Yeah. And Spike was
Yeah.
1880.
Yeah, I know Spike was younger.
Yeah, Spike was a little bit younger. Quite a bit younger, actually. Almost 100 years younger than him.
Yeah, because Drusilla created Spike.
Yeah, and Drusilla's only
Man, I
20.
still remember so much about Buffy. I haven't
Yeah,
watched
and
it in,
Drusilla was only 20
10
years older
years.
than him, technically. And then Darla turned everyone. She was from the 1600s. Wow.
Yeah.
Didn't Darla get off like super early though?
She did, but she comes back.
Yeah, she was the crazy
She was-
one, I think.
She comes
Also,
back an
she
angel.
she was played by what's it called, by the lady who plays Rita in Dexter.
Yeah.
Yes.
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 Yeah, which is part of the reason I started
Ju-
watching Dexter, and then they
Julie Hayes, I think her name is.
killed her off, and
Julie
then
Benz.
Dexter went to garbage.
Yeah.
Once
I mean,
she
yeah.
once she was gone, the heart of the show was gone. She
Yeah.
was what kept him grounded. It was
Yeah.
the worst mistake they made was killing her off. Because the show, that was where he was trying to live the normal life with, and she was so loving and caring for him. And then when they got rid of her, the show, like, that grounding disappeared. And it was just, yeah, he had a kid, but he never took care of his kid.
That's true. He always left his kid with like literally anyone who would take him.
Exactly. Like it just and I knew as soon as that scene happened, I was like, oh, the show's dead, because I knew she was a bigger part than they realized. And yeah.
I like the first season of Dexter, but kind of after that, it kind of gave me that I can fix him vibe, you know?
Mhm.
Oh no! He's just a wounded soul. I can fix him.
She never wanted
I
to
can fix him, but honestly, whatever's wrong with him is way hotter.
Well, the thing is, she never wanted to fix him. She just wanted him to be with her. She was the one that needed fixing, because she had gone through
I'm talking
so
about
much.
the audience, though, not her specifically.
No, and there was no fixing him.
Were like, oh, serial killers, I love them.
No,
you ever?
That's our fucked up thing with serial killers.
You knew that you knew that the show was based off of a novel series, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the novels are nothing like the show.
No.
Yeah, I read the first novel. It was good.
I read the first novel, and yeah, more or less, like beat by beat, and then at the end it's just completely different. I was like, oh, okay, so this is just like not at all like what the show said.
Yeah.
That happens a lot.
Yeah.
I think the only books that follow the other medium they go to pretty closely, at least at first, was Harry Potter. The first Harry Potter
Dresden
book is
Files.
just straight up boom, 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 boom. Wait, Dresden Files is a show?
Huh?
The Dresden Files is a show now?
It used to have
it used to
it
be.
had a show,
and it was
garbage.
nothing. It was nothing
was
like the books.
No, like let me put it this: it's hot garbage if you were introduced to Dresden via the books.
Yes.
I got into Dresden via the TV show, so the TV show to me was entertaining until I read the books, and I was like, this is so much better. How did you get this so wrong?
I know, and my dad has watched the TV show and refuses to read the books, and I'm like, the books are so much better. You will enjoy it. I guarantee it. No, I'm fine. Dad, read the books.
I didn't like Harry Dresden in the first book because the way he talks to himself sometimes has that big tip my fedora energy, but after that it gets really good, you know?
Well, it
does. It absolutely does.
So my three biggest problems were the fact that he had a hockey stick. That made no sense. I get what they were trying to go with that. Made no sense. The fact that everyone who knew who Bob was.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And the fact that he wasn't a talking skull.
That's true. Like the fact that he wasn't a talking skull, like that was kind of one of the biggest things to me. I was like, okay, so how are they gonna describe Bob in the books? Oh, you mean to tell me he's not just like a spirit that shows up and people can see him? No. Oh, he's just a skull that has like a voice coming out of it? Interesting.
And when you get to know more about Bob, the TV show makes no sense.
Yeah, no.
Dresden would have never allowed anyone to know who Bob was. Bob wouldn't have let anyone know who he was. That's just hoping someone finds him and takes care of the problem.
I think that like a big thing about TV shows, though, whenever you're gonna base them off of a ongoing series, is you have to let the ongoing series conclude. Otherwise, you don't have a map.
Wait, you got a season in 2007, and you only got one.
And
it got a one.
And he was
one season, 12 episodes.
Yeah. It only got one season. Got canceled quite quickly.
So I got reviews though.
That would be 7 books in, because he did about a book a year. So I think they were already starting to hint that Bob had a bigger understanding than what we were getting at that point. Either way, it was the fact that he wouldn't let anyone know who Bob was, and Bob was always hidden in his study.
Right.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a bad TV show. Like, I want to emphasize that. Like, as a TV show, if you know nothing about the Dresden Files, then it's an okay TV show.
Problem is, if you know anything about Dresden Files, it's absolutely horrible.
How did they mess it up so hard? I'm like, dude, if you had 7 books, just follow the books. What are you doing?
Yeah,
you know,
and
like,
they weren't trying to base it off the books. They were trying, except for one episode was about the first book. They were trying to do the smaller cases that he was doing, which is a thing.
They want to do a monster of the week.
Yeah, so they wanted to do more what he was doing on the average day. And actually, there has been a few short story books that have done that too, where he was going with the smaller cases that Dresden has done. But I think the season finale had to do with the final book, or the first book.
Yeah.
And I went back.
Got a really high audience score.
Yeah, like the audiences liked it pretty well. Like like I said,
89%, 4 to
it's
5 stars from everybody.
yeah, it's an okay show. It's
Script
just
The
critics,
actor was pretty
58.
good. I did like the actor who was
Blackthorn.
playing
Yeah,
Dresden,
yeah.
but
That said, what was I gonna say about Oh no, just comparatively, it's like the TV show for the Legend of the Seeker,
Oh,
which
dude, I love Legend of the Secret TV show though.
oh
Didn't
yeah
read the
the
books. That's probably why.
oh that, i- if you love the TV show, don't read the books.
Oh,
And like it's not because the books are bad. They're really good, but the TV show's got like that happy, like Sam Raimi energy.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
and it ended pretty happy too. Everyone
yeah.
lives and
But
is happy, and
it's very optimistic, very hopeful. But like the books get really dark starting with the second book. Like there is, like there it is. Ooh,
I didn't know it was
it,
based on a book. It just looked like an interesting TV show, so my friend and I watched it one summer.
yeah, it's based off of the Sword of Truth book series by Terry Goodkind, and I love the TV show so much. I read all the books, right? But like towards the end, it was a slog because like Terry Goodkind writes some real good dark fantasy, but he pulls no punches. I mean, it is like it can sometimes get very nihilistic, and I understand why, because the main character is supposed to be kind of like the embodiment of reason and of hope. But like he makes the world so bleak sometimes that it's like, how do you deal with this? It's just like wow, like there's there's a lot of scenes depicting some like really horrific war crimes. There's side characters who would have been like like just you would have loved to have seen them succeed, but they just get murdered in the worst possible ways for being naive, for just a little bit. And like sometimes it kind of feels like he's strawmanning like a lot of the bad guys. Like for example, like it's no secret that like the author like just hates any kind of organized religion, and that like the bad guys are supposed to be an analog for like religious and stuff like that. So he very heavily strawmans them. Like, oh yeah, with enough faith you can trick masses into just committing the worst atrocities ever.
just 1 second. Thank
Yeah.
you, Pimp Demon, for your $20 tip. I don't have the pop-up set up. I'm sorry, that's my bad.
You can tip on here.
Yeah, I have I've become fully monetized, but I always had a thing where you could tip me through Steam.
What's super chat? Hold on, I don't
Yeah.
actually stream on YouTube.
Hello, Pimp Demon.
Thank you so
It's
much,
good to
Pimp
see you.
Demon. I just needed to make sure I said something.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
But anyway, just war crimes. Yeah, like like there's murder abundant of both adults and not adults. There is a lot of R word that happens in
Oh.
the novels.
Yeah, I mean, I figured a lot of that's the reason I stopped reading so many different stories. 'Cause I just can't read it. I can if it's on TV, like, whatever, I can sit through it, skip
Yeah.
it, whatever. But if I'm reading it, I'm in the character's head. I can't.
Yeah. So
just can't,
it's
so.
it's hard, like I said. Once you, I think that it was like 11 books for the series for the initial run, because I mean there was like an extended, like where he did a couple
Yeah.
of extra novels, but
I
for
just
the
looked up
main
there's
story
21
plot,
books.
yeah. So,
That's
but for the
ridiculous.
first story plot was like 11 books, and like by book 8, you were like, come on, man, like you gotta stop hurting me like this.
Is it the same characters at least from the show?
Yeah, Richard and Kaylin and like
The
their
wizard.
friend Zedek Azul Sarander.
Yeah, that's his name.
Yeah.
I guess I mean, I might read them. It's just, yeah, 21 books is also a lot.
The first book is basically the first season of the show.
Okay. Well, I haven't
Yeah.
seen it in 10 years, so.
The second book is where the deviations start to happen, because there's it follows the second season kind of, but towards the middle of it, it becomes completely different.
Why did it only get 2 seasons if there were so many books?
Because, like I said, starting at the second book, like the darkness
Seems got
in
dark,
the
so they just
yeah.
ended it.
Oh.
Yeah, so it was kind of like we could try to keep going, but it's just going to be a completely different
This
thing.
would have been a perfect book in the world of now media because we have like Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Could have just
fair.
put this on HBO Max.
Oh yeah,
Called that a day.
100%, yes.
Instead
But
of
like
doing another season of that.
my thing was like I bet you that what happened is that Sam Raimi like read the first book and he's like, this is amazing. This is just like, fantastic, like high-spirited fantasy. And then by the time he got to like the third book, he's like, oh God, no, we can't do this.
Never mind. Can't do. No.
Wait, the show also didn't get great reviews. It looks like that's weird.
Yeah.
'Cause I really liked the show.
Oh, it was
I
a
thought
good
it
show,
ended
man.
randomly. Like the last 3-4 episodes, just kind of okay, we're done.
Yeah.
It didn't sit right with me.
I will say this about the book is that about the novel or about the series, because like both of them, but like the magic in the book and in the series is super creative. Like there are things that I'm just like, wow, like I would have never imagined to make like a wizard be capable of doing that. That is just great. And if there's one thing that can be said about Terry Goodkind is that he's really good about sticking to the rules of his magic system, such that like something, for example, something that was set up in season 1, book 1 of The Legend of the Seeker, is what ends up winning the entire conflict in the last book, and you just forgot about it until
"Hey,
it's
by the way,
like.
it's important.
Yeah, it's kind of like this was set up, and like by about book 5, it's brought up again, and you're like, oh yeah, I remember that from the first book. That was a big deal. And so like by book like 9 or 10, when they start like thinking, I was like, hey, you know what? There's no way we can win this. It's like, hey, unless, do you guys remember the thing? And it's like, oh my God, I know what they're gonna do. So it's kind of like one of those huge reveals where you're just like. Okay,
Right.
like the setup was so good that like whenever it finally clicks what's happening, you're just like, oh wow, that was excellently executed. But
That's cool. I might have to give
Yeah.
him another read then. But 21 books is a lot. But I guess I'll start, see where I end up.
like
I need to
like I said, like
flip
if
the
you
President Files
stop at
again.
book 11, which is like the last one for the big overarching story, I mean like you can stop there. It's no big deal, like. But it is 11 books, and they're not thin books either. They're thick. They're thick boys.
I've never seen them like at my local Barnes and Nobles, so I was always wondering if they were popular or not.
All right. So, did you guys have anything coming up on your channels or the Nevermore Collective that you want to share?
Next Sunday is part 2 of the Image creepypasta iceberg. Yay!
Nice.
That's it. That's all I got.
Starting tonight, tonight we're doing another episode of Tales from Evansboro on the Tales from Evansboro Twitch. And tomorrow on the Nevermore Nerds, Derringer and I are joined by 2 of our Nevermore Yu-Gi-Oh! Master duelists, Skystorm Song and Helix, and they will be attempting to guess that deck when we show them 4 pictures, not cards, but like 4 images, completely out of context,
Oh,
and they
no.
have to use the clues in that image to guess
no.
which deck we're referring to.
Oh,
Guess
man.
that Pokemon. Wait. Guess that Yu-Gi-Oh card.
Yeah,
I haven't been to
basically.
Yu-Gi-Oh! So long. That's interesting though.
We did it once before, and it was very well received. I remember everyone was saying, like, we don't even play Yu-Gi-Oh!, but this is fun.
I haven't played Yu-Gi-Oh! Since I was in high school, so it's been a while.
Yeah.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Is like my game, dude. Like, it kind of like how you say you've been on again, off again on League of Legends for 10 years. I've been on again, off again in Yu-Gi-Oh! For 20.
You could ask me any character's ability, I probably know what it does and which key it's bound to.
Oh,
Yeah.
jeez. I've never played League, but at least I have played Yu-Gi-Oh! So there's only
Oh,
one
actu-
character I know from League, and that's because I listened to one of her songs and I fell in love with it. So
Oh, we talk about like KDA, we talk about Ari, Evelyn, Kaiza, and the popular one Akali, because like
I
what's
have
it called?
her figure on my desk right now.
Same. Is it the one that glows in black light?
Yeah, it's the one that
Yes,
goes in black
I
light.
have
It's the
that
KDA
one,
version.
dude. No way.
Dude, Akali's she was my main until I switched to jungle. Now I can't play it anymore.
See, like for me, like I don't play a lot of League, or like I haven't in a long while. But like, what's it called? When KDA dropped, I thought the design was so cool and the concept was so fun. So whenever they dropped the Akali figure and they're like, hey, if you put black light over her, she glows. I was like, I gotta have that.
No,
Yeah, she's pretty awesome actually.
Yeah,
She's
it's
my birthday
pretty
present
sweet.
from like a couple years ago.
Yeah.
It's Jinx.
Jinx is amazing too. Wait, hold on a second.
Jinx had a song, and I fell in love with it. I didn't even know she was.
Oh, Get Jinxed.
Get
Yes,
jinxed.
Get Jinxed,
Yeah,
and I was just
that's when I
like,
started playing League. Was when that song came out.
yeah, and I was like, oh, but that's for League of Legends, which is a PvP game. I'm good. Bye.
MOBA, yeah.
Yeah. Have
They're
you
making
seen
an
like
MMO though.
Arcane on Netflix?
I haven't actually.
No.
Yeah. It's the story of Jinx. You would like it.
Yeah, I've been told that I would probably enjoy it because I like stories. It's just I don't like PvP games. I don't like playing against people. I like just playing against.
The most fun
environment.
is when you play against people and beat them, and you're like, haha, I'm better than you.
Yeah.
That's
see,
it.
I
That's
get,
it.
I have anger issues, so
No,
I don't play.
Don't play League of Legends. No.
Yeah.
No, do not.
Turn
See-
off all chat. Make sure you can't chat at all.
See, this is why I have worked around those anger issues, and I won't put myself to the point where I'm going to break the controller again. I mean, what? I've only
So
broken
your
one.
character isn't Serafin though? That makes no sense.
Pimp Demon. Bard, I'm mad at you because you made me a fan of Daddy Daddy Do. It's a good one. It is a good song. Like as soon as I heard it the first time, I listened to it on loop for like a day. It was a good one.
So before I go, tomorrow a new night story video drops. It's got 2 creepypasta / no sleep stories. One written by As the Raven Dreams himself, which is called Leave a Light On. So, you know, you're gonna learn why you should leave a light on. Sleep with the
So
lights on.
burglars don't come to your house.
Yeah.
They're afraid of the light.
They are. They don't want you to see them. Thank you everyone for joining us today. I hope you all have a good weekend.
Woo! Weekend.
Bye. Weekend. Yay. Every day's a weekend.
Morning has